All right, we are officially live on all platforms. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We are live on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. Let's double check a few things here, and we're going to get rolling with the music here in just a few minutes. Jenna's in the building. Welcome in. IDK, welcome in as well. If y'all are on TikTok, tap the screen, share out the live. Pinky, welcome in. Share out the live, repost, all the good stuff. It does really help out the stream. And of course, if y'all are coming in for the first time, let me know where y'all are joining from. Sherman, welcome in. If you make music, let me know the kind of music that you make, so on and so on. And we are going to get into some music here in just a couple minutes. Gabby is in the building. What is up, Gabby? Thanks for tapping in. DJ Liam, thanks for joining. Blurry Face, welcome in. Let's see. Grandpa's in the building. What's up, Grandpa? Welcome, and I still crack up every time I say your name. It's ridiculous. Thanks for joining. Thanks for tapping into the stream today. I appreciate you being here. Spides is in the building. What's up, Spides? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling today? Thank you so much for the heart me. I appreciate it, Spies. So good to see you. Thank you for joining. Pedrin, thank you so much for being here as well. Or Pedrino, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you joining the stream. Rona's in the building. Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live, repost, send your heart me, all the stuff. It does really help out the stream. Ice Magic, welcome in. Dwayne is in the building. What's up, Dwayne? Thank y'all so much for joining. I appreciate y'all being here. Let me see. Let me check this over here real quick. Things are good. Things are good. It has been a good and productive day today. Very productive day. So it's always nice where I feel like I've accomplished something. Sleek is in the building. What's up, Sleek? Welcome into the stream, y'all. If y'all are coming in for the first time, would love to know where you're joining from. If you make music, the kind of music that you make, let's chat for a couple minutes before we get into the music. But we are going to get into the music here in a moment as well. Sherman, I see your sub. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Jaden, thanks for tapping into the stream. Thank y'all so much for joining. I really hope I'm able to get a couple people from yesterday. I think Ben joined in late, and I want to get them up on the board since they came in late yesterday, but it was their second time. Hell yeah! I've had the opposite of that. A not very productive day. Not very productive day is sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes that's necessary. I think tomorrow will be more of that. I still have a lot. I always have a lot to do. But that is the way that it is. So I feel like I'm like, yeah, tomorrow should be easier. I only have like 3 projects I have to work on, whatever. So an off day is a very, there's some nuance to that. But it is nice to have a day that you don't feel like you need to be as productive. I haven't had one of those in a while, feels like. Oregon's in the building. Let's go. I'm doing AI EDM. Let's go, DJ. Yesterday, on my problem seems so far away. Facts. Adrian's in the building. What's up, Adrian? Sid Star's in the building. Yoo-hoo, welcome in, or Yoo-ho, welcome in. I appreciate you joining. Welcome into the stream, y'all. Once again, let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know if you make music. Talk to me about the kind of music that you make. Everything is at the link in the bio for those of you who are curious about submitting. I will dive into the details of submitting in a couple minutes. I'm just getting all the platforms up and running. So it's going to take, a couple minutes, 5-10 minutes before we get into the music. But I want to make sure that Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok and everything is rolling. We get some people in here. And then, of course, we'll dig into the music in just a little bit. So we'll chat. We'll answer questions. We'll get into some of the details of what y'all are doing. We'll hear about y'all's music, your story, stuff like that. Danny's in the building. What's up, Danny? Welcome in. Thank y'all for joining. Spies plus nuance equals lazy on accident. Hey, I mean, there's nothing specifically wrong with that. Jess is in the building. Jess, if you would like to submit, everything is at the link in my bio. And thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate you being here. If anybody would like to submit your music, that is all at the link in my bio. Do you want to listen to Russian music? Any style, any genre, any region, any language, doesn't matter to me. It's all over the place. We listen to a very broad spectrum of styles and levels of quality of music here. Miranda's in the building. What's up, Miranda? Welcome in. Dropped a new album, Techno Nation. Let's go. Myra, welcome in as well. I appreciate y'all joining the stream. How are y'all feeling? Augusto, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Ray, if you want to submit, it's at the link in my bio. Keep in mind that this is for y'all's music. Thank you for the Go Populars and for the Heart Me. I appreciate that. JJ Mora, thank you so much for joining the stream. I appreciate y'all being here. This is for if you are an artist, you're a producer, you're a musician, you're a vocalist, you're a songwriter, you're an engineer. This is for your music. So if you make music or are connected to music in any way, that's what this live stream is all about. That's what these submissions are for, so on and so on. Lorena's in the building. Thank you so much for hopping into the stream today. I appreciate it. Tommy, welcome in. Good to see y'all. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank y'all so much for joining. Andrew's in the building. Pack the Universe. Thank you for joining. How are y'all feeling today? What are y'all up to? What is y'all's day? What is today? I don't even know what date it is. I feel like I don't really have like a weekday and a weekend. It's just working all the time. And so I was like, wait, I don't even realize what day it is. It is Thursday. It is. I was like, wait, what day? Literally what day? Yeah, it's Thursday, August 20th. It is Thursday. What? Yeah, man, time means nothing to me. Joe, if you want to submit, it's at the link in my bio. Thank you, Miranda. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Say cheese in the building. Welcome in. Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live, repost, heart me, all that. It does really help out. Miranda, I appreciate that a lot. Grandpa, appreciate that a lot. Thank y'all so much for your generosity, for your time. Mr. Lawyer, welcome in as well. We're going to get rolling here in just a moment. Once again, if you want to submit, it's at the link in my bio. It is not here in the chat. It is at the link in my bio. And again, that is for your music. So if you make music, you're connected to it. That is what we are here for. Let's see. Lotus, I see you. Thank you so much for tapping in. Boom, 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 boom. Now we're moving. Ever since 2020 time, it's weird. Facts. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was like the last time we all sat on our ass for a while, and it was like, that was the last time that like things like I felt like I knew what a month was. And it's like already, I'm like, oh, it's like in my mind, even though it's August, it's not the end of the year. In my mind, I'm like, it's like this year's over. I'm like seeing fall decorations and like Christmas decorations in stores and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's where we're at. Jesus, that's crazy. Can I suggest you're one of my best friend, but not popular yet? Yeah, if you're connected to it in some way. When we're getting into like the consultation side of what we're doing here, those are like 20 to 30 minute deep dive, long form breakdown. So I always want it to be as valuable and as beneficial to people as possible. If you at least know the person, that's helpful because, they can see the VOD on YouTube or you can screen record some stuff or whatever and send it to them or get some feedback on what they're doing. So there's some level of, connection there. But, for the most part, I like it when it's people that are attached to the music. They're a part of the process of making it just because I'm asking questions. We're going back and forth on, details from the record and stuff like that. Let me see. What do you say about She Loves Me, Serrani? If you make music, y'all, this is for your music. Derek Bennett's in the building. What's up, Derek Bennett? Welcome in, man. Good to see you. I just saw your submission. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for tapping in. Lowcure, welcome in. If you make music, that's what it's all about. If you're a producer, you're an artist, you're a musician, you do session work, you're a vocalist, you're a songwriter, you're an engineer, that's what this live stream is about, and that's what it's for. This is not just for music that you like. This is not just for just random songs that you enjoy. It is for your music. So if it is not your music, and also you don't submit in the chat, you submit at the link in bio. So if you would like to send in your music, it is all at the link in bio. I will kind of direct everyone in just a couple minutes here. Once we get, no, you're totally good. No worries. Once we get everything rolling here, and once we get the live stream kind of up and flowing, I'll kind of give a spiel as far as the structure of what we do, how we do it, the two different lines, so on and so on. Sent you a new instrumental fresh off the press. Let's go, man. Let's go. Independent solo artist. Day Secret Bad Omens. Let me see. Link in bio, y'all. Link in bio if you want to submit. Foes in the building. Let me know where y'all are joining from, though. Alex, welcome in. Alex, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for the follow as well. I really appreciate that. Auckland in the building. How is it in New Zealand? I was just watching a video a couple weeks back of a couple that just moved to New Zealand, and they are in love with it. They love it. Africa in the building. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome in. It's wet and cold. Summer nearly here, so that will be good. Yeah. So I'm in San Antonio, Texas. That is, it's like 104. It's like 104 for like 70% of the year. And then another like 20% of the year, it's like 85, 90, and humid as hell. And then there's like another like 5 to 10% of the year that is like 40 degrees and like wet and humid. Gospel Boy, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Welcome in over on YouTube. I see it. What's up, Bad Wolf Donna? Thank you so much for tapping in. Welcome into the stream. I'm going to explain the whole live stream here in just a couple seconds. I'm just answering just a couple things here. Hey, Tor, I submitted last night, but don't see my name in the queue. Do I need to resubmit? Yes, you do. Brady, let me know if you were in the consultation line or the free line. And that way I know kind of where to put you. But yeah, if you were in the free line, it's a fresh batch every time because there's usually anywhere from like 40 to 60 or 35 to 60 people in the free line over the course of the live stream. And so if I kept every single person that's there, half the people just kind of jet and they get out of here. If I kept all of those people there, then over the last 3.5 years of doing this live stream, I'd have like 7,000 people in the free line, and that'd be crazy. But yeah, pay less light, let's show. Okay, yeah, send it in free, and I'll boost you. Send it in free and I'll boost you. I got you. Can you play Metallica, Canada, Quebec in the building? Let's go, Rona. Welcome in. Yeah, I would take, I mean, it's so brutal here in Texas. Texas is kind of a nightmare for many, many different reasons. But we would love to live someplace cooler. Love to live someplace cooler. One day you will stop and question what they wanted. What are you talking about? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I even missed something I said. The ADHD is strong. And after I say something, my brain moves on quickly. Thank you for the heart me, Bad Wolf. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow, May, as well. I appreciate it. When you will stop a question with it. Oh, I'm doing a trend. Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that one. My bad. That fell flat. That's on me. No, you're good. That's on me. That fell flat, and that's on me. I had no idea what was going on. I'm hopefully headed to the U.S. next year to camp, council teaching music, probably end up in New York. Let's go. Yeah, New York's dope. I've been in New York a couple times. Manhattan's killer. Even like my sister and brother-in-law, they lived in Jersey for a while, like near Hoboken. And so we'd go into the city all the time. He worked in the city and out of the Bay, for a lot of his work in there. And so, yeah, New York's awesome. Upstate's great too. This is a couple, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago or so. But we went to Schenectady. Schenectady is sick. Kind of upstate New York, about an hour out of Albany, is really, really cool. Showcase, welcome in. I got family in Jersey. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I loved it. We were there in December too, and it was awesome. We were there during Christmas. It was crazy, and it was crowded and stuff. It was beautiful. I like it. I don't know if I would ever live in like proper NYC, but like just because that's a bit crazy to me. I'm in this phase of my life, I kind of want to like live in a forest by a creek, you know what I mean? And like I don't know, make music in a hut or something like that. Like that to me is like the vibes that I'm on right now. UK in the building. What's up, UK? Welcome in. That's kind of the vibes that I'm on. I'm like, let me like, I don't know, just People are a lot. Yeah, big felt. How do you feel about Biscoff? I like Biscoff cookies, I think. I'm trying to remember the last time I had them, probably on a plane or something like that. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I get it. Yeah, I feel like Tulsa's probably like fairly similar to like San Antonio or like outside of Austin, like, being in like Round Rock or something like that. Like, put me in isolation. Yeah, I would love to live like, thank you so much for the gifts. Y'all appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. I would love to live like 30 to 45 minutes outside of a decent sized city, so that like you still have access to, like, if you need like medical care, you're not like, I guess we're tying the tourniquet ourselves, like I want to have access to some systems, and, transportation and stuff like that. I think that obviously that'd be nice. And if we were not to take like 7 weeks for packages to get to you, but at the same time, I need to get out. It's just, there's too many people, man. Let me see. Welcome from Spain. I appreciate you joining. Welcome in. Pack this in the building. What's up, Pack this? Honestly, it's 100% whether for people to get in the paid lunch or it's so good. Thank you so much, Spice, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Do you listen to punk? 100%. All genres, literally over the course of a live, you will hear metal, country, pop, EDM, trap, R&B, all the way across the board. You're going to hear instrumentals. You're going to hear full songs with vocals. You're going to hear early productions and work in progress. You're going to hear voice memos. You're going to hear finished tracks that are already released. You're going to see a bunch of different stuff, man. I submitted the things by the paid 15 last. Okay, I got you, Brady. Let me get everything lined up for you now that you're submitted. Let me pull up yesterday's and make sure that I get everything in the right spot. Lowcure, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. If you want to submit, it's at the link in my bio. Link in my bio. Okay, let me see. And then I see Melrose too. Because, yeah, a lot of people, when I came in late last night. Are you sure it was yesterday, Brady? Sorry. I was looking at a different name, right? Let's chill. Yep, I got you. Sorry. I was looking for Brady. I was like, hold on. I was like, wait, did you submit? I got you. Sorry, I was looking at the different name. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got you. No worries. I was just looking for Brady again because my brain went blank for a moment. You're good. All right, boom. All right, you're set. You're ready to go. I got you. Pack this. I got you. Lowcure, I got you as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's chill. You're up there. Derek Bennett, you're in the building. All right, let's get it. Me and my friends are in the studio. Let's go. Amazing. Thank y'all for the roses as well. Thank you for the Go Populars. I appreciate that a lot. All right, we are going to get into the music, y'all. We're not wasting any more time. Let's dive in. Give me a moment to give my spiel. Some of y'all have heard this spiel hundreds of times, but I'm going to do it again. I'll do it every time so that people know what in the world is going on here and what to expect when it comes to this particular live stream. If y'all have never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate y'all being here. I've heard it for 3+ years. Yeah, that's true. Derek has heard this many. Derek's like, okay, let me tune out for the next 10 minutes before we get to his song. But if you've never been here, welcome to the stream. I'm glad y'all are here. Thanks for taking some time out and hanging out with us, listening to some music, submitting some music, hopefully gaining, just a strong network, collaboration, friends, all that fun stuff, and hopefully getting some value out of this as well. So glad y'all are here. Appreciate y'all hopping in today. If you have never been here before, there are 2 lanes that you can submit to. There is a free line. That free line, we will listen to up to 2 minutes of your song and give a quick note. So again, in the free line, we will listen to up to 2 minutes of your song and, a quick note on the song structure, on the mix, or whatever it may be. Then we have the consultation line. The bulk of what we do here is that consultation line. The consultation line is a 20 to 30 minute multiple listen, deep dive consultation on the structure of your music. Over that 20 to 30 minutes, we will listen to your track 2 to 3 different times. We will dive into the details of your mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting, so on and so on. Those are not a quick review. There is no trash or pass, ratings or polls attributed to that line. Those are long form detailed breakdowns to really get into the nuances and the details of what you're doing, both creatively and practically within the structure of your music. What's up, Time Mind? I'm fantastic, man. Good to see you. Let me see. Oh yeah, and for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for the last 14+ years. I'm also a classically trained pianist, hence the keyboards everywhere. So the structure and the perspective of this live stream is kind of from that perspective. We're here to really get into the details of it, offer you as much practical, professional, and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. If that sounds interesting to you and you would like to submit your music, we are live on 3 different platforms, okay? We're on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. If you are on TikTok, which is where the majority of y'all will be, if y'all are on TikTok, you can go to my profile, click on the link tree, and then you'll see a tab that says submit your music, see the queue. If you sit on that, if you sit on it, I'm fried. My brain is not working today. If you tap that, then you can you'll be able to submit your music there for the free line or for the consultation line. That is also where you will see the queue. So if you hit that submit, you'll be able to see the queue there, the line, the order. You'll see where you're at. You'll be able to see or decide if you want to skip or go faster or stay where you're at, wait it out, whatever it may be, right? All of that is right there at that link. So again, if you're on TikTok and you want to submit, it is at the link in my bio. You do not submit in the chat. You do not submit popular artists. This is for you. If you're a producer, artist, musician, if you're a vocalist, you're a songwriter, you're an engineer, that's what this is for. Do not send your music in the chat. Do not spam your music in the chat. Literally nothing will happen outside of you getting muted or blocked. So make sure that you just follow the steps and you go to the link in my bio. If you are on YouTube, aka the Red app, you can go to the description for the live stream and you'll see the link there. If you are on the Purple app or Twitch, you can type !submit and the link will present itself to you. Let's get into some music. Slayer Hell did submit in the bio. Beautiful. Cactus. Love it. Yeah, I think I got you on there. I think you're ready to go. Let me see. Do the consultations get pushed first? Listen, yes. I always go top to bottom. It's consultations and consultations in order of payment on there. So that's I don't determine that order. Y'all do. So if you want to skip, you want to go faster, you can always add to what you have. You can always skip. That's completely up to you. There is no pressure. I don't care what y'all do. I will just hit play at the top of the list and keep going down. And we will occasionally, depending on demand and depending on just how crazy things get, we will dip into the free line intermittently, so on and so on. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Ba-da-da-bum-bum. I got more than 1 million streams recently. What do you think about genre? Yeah, you can send anything. Absolutely anything. Ba-da-da-da. All right. Let's get it. All right, we got Derek Bennett in the building. If you haven't heard Derek Bennett before, you're in for a treat. Let's get into some music. This is The Dark by Derek Bennett. This is, I believe, the first time that I've heard this song. So I think he said it's a fresh instrumental, if I'm not mistaken. You know the deal. Drop some details. Let me know what I can help with. And let's get into it. It's time. I have to do that every time Derek sends in a song. Okay, cool. Hell yeah, let's go. Is there plans for vocals on this, or are you going to keep this as like an instrumental structure? Ooh, okay, cool. Nice. Got you, Lowcure, appreciate it. Okay, cool. Link in my bio if you want to submit, y'all. What's up, Vadis? Welcome in, man. Let's go, man. Let's go. Nice, that is. Link in my bio if y'all want to submit, y'all. Not here in the chat. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Sounds good, man. Good to see you in here. Okay, sick. Awesome. I was wanting like one other element to fill in the mids. I think an electric guitar would be great. Just a clean, classic Telecaster, chimey electric guitar in the middle would be great. A banjo I think would be a good filler as well. for me, it's a hard, especially with what's about to end. About to end. Let's go. Y'all show some love. Show some love. That's Derek Bennett Music right here in the chat over on TikTok. Let's get it. I do want something to fill in those mids a little bit sharper. The fiddle obviously does a great job kind of where it's positioned, but I do think that we could fill in a little bit more, give it more texture, more energy right there, right? So when it comes to the way you fill it in, like I said, or like you mentioned, the banjo is obviously a great option for that with a pretty modern country record. Like if this is going to be a modern country record, if you're going to do something kind of in this vein, I would highly suggest having some electric guitar in there. I feel like we just empty out a lot of the pointiness of the song by doing that, right? Like if we just don't have the banjo, maybe will help, the fiddle does something, but something a little bit more rhythmic, something that, actually fills in some of those mids, I do think would really help. And I think there's something really unique of like a Telecaster through a Fender, you know what I mean? That gives you some texture that I think is very specific to like modern pop country, kind of like what you have here. So I would dig into this a little bit more just in that aspect. But let's go back through it. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Thank y'all for tapping in. If you would love, what am I saying? I can't thank y'all. It's been one of those days. I've been working crazy all day, and I don't even know what I'm saying right now. If you would like to submit, it's at the link in my bio, not here in the chat. So go to the link there. You'll see everything that you need as far as submitting, the different lines, so on and so on. But let's get into it, man. Let's run it from the top. Let's go back through it. Let's chop through a couple details here. But let's dive into it. This is The Dark by Derek Bennett Music. Let's dive in. One thing that I do think, we'll get into it here in just a second. Is really finding a balance, I think, between some of the like heavier cinematic elements in here and some of the other structural, more typical country sound design that you have in here as well, right? There's sometimes where, to me, there's a little bit of an imbalance between going back and forth between them, where they feel a little random. They feel a little bit disconnected, where we'll have a very typical like contemporary country record or something that feels a little bit more modern. Wait, is Helios in here? Is the brother in the building? Where's Helios? I didn't see the name. But then all of a sudden we'll get this like riser that's like a super cinematic theater or, trailer intro, right? Just bam, like this crazy wind up, going into the hook to then a really like well-balanced like country hook, right? I would try to find some maybe changes and utilizing some of that. I think this can still feel very it can still feel somewhat cinematic, which I know is part of, some of the texture that you want in here. It can still feel very inspiring and very motivational and stuff like that, and still have a lot of that texture there without their kind of what feels to me like random like one shots in there that are kind of in a different vein. Is there a place for a singer? Yeah, they already have a singer in mind. They have a country vocalist that they used on another record that they're going to be getting on this record as well. Should be really good. But that's like one of the things that I hear occasionally, where there's it feels like a random one shot or a riser or something like that from a completely different genre, and it doesn't feel as integrated outside of maybe having strings in the background. And for me, that kind of intensity in the buildup isn't necessarily like released when you go to the hook, right? Because it goes into, again, a like softer, easier to listen to country record, right? If you want to submit music, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. So what we do here in this live stream is we are doing 20 to 30 minute consultations for artists, producers, musicians, engineers, vocalists, songwriters, so on and so on. We spend 20 to 30 minutes going through their track, talking through mix, production, sound design, lyrics, song structure, stuff like that. And hopefully offering them some tools, some advice, some actionable feedback on what they're doing. We will listen to a ton of different music in different genres, different styles, different languages, to hopefully give some actionable feedback to people that would value it. That's what the whole live stream is. If y'all want to submit it's at the link in my bio. You'll see 2 lines. Submit wherever you want. All right, let's get a little deeper here. What's up, Jester? Welcome in. Yeah, it is a cool full boy. It is a cool production. There'll be a singer here. This is a verse. I don't know what they're going to sing, but this will be the verse right here. So then here, this like THX, You know what I mean? This like THX swell right here, that riser to me just feels, my brain just kind of goes in a different direction right there, where that feels a little disconnected from what we were just in and where we're going. It feels kind of like a random drop in there. We're in one place that's really cohesive. We go to another place that's really cohesive. Like I said, we can bring in banjo, guitar, something like that to fill in. But these two places right here feel great. And then there's a drop in right in the middle that feels a little bit disconnected. If you can find what I would actually rather, do whatever, obviously this is your production, but do whatever feels, the most creative and authentic to you. So, this was a really cinematic track, so need to replace some elements. Okay. What I would do is, whether you do it yourself, right? Then I went, you went from a cinematic score to country. So there's some residue. there's some like, theatrical, residue from the last version of the song that's still there. What I would do is either either do this within your own like VST and automate this in, or look on Splice and look for some cymbal rolls in there, some cymbal swells. So you can just get like a natural acoustic drum cymbal swell going into the next section of the song. That'll give you the riser that you're looking for. It'll give you that little introduction of energy, that little bit of a swell, while it feeling more natural and organic than a super, super cinematic score riser with like, white noise lifts and stuff like that. That'll feel a little bit more natural, I think, with what is before and after this section there. That's an easy fix, right? It's like drop that one shot, bring in a different one, or automate those single swells in or cymbal swells in on the whatever VST you're using for the drums. Because once we get in here, this sounds very, and I mean in a good way, but like typical, right? Once we get in here, this feels very like straightforward, like well established. Obviously, this is unmixed. There's not even vocals on it, but it's very straightforward as far as the structure that's there. Jamie, what is that mic you're using? This is a Neumann M147 tube. Neumann M147 tube. Love it. Awesome microphone. I've had it for a couple years. Has never treated me poorly. I love this thing. What's up, DTSK? Welcome in. Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. It's a great tube mic. Thank you, Harry. Appreciate it. Like I can imagine right over the A minor, I could imagine some like really cool low chorused guitar, like two broken up guitar lines that are really dun, 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 dun. Like I could imagine some like low Telecaster, like open string, single note, like picking patterns and stuff like that are like really, really simple, but follow like a really low, clean, sharp, highly compressed like Telecaster riff at the bottom right there that just feels really smooth and really connected to the rest of the production. But especially with like a Telecaster or a Strat or something like that, especially with a little bit of tube breakups, some really, really tight compression, it'll slice through the mix in a way that's like really, really punchy, and gives you a lot of snap in the middle of the mix where this is so smooth. I think the banjo you mentioned will help, but I do think having an electric guitar, thanks for the heart me DT, good to see you, man. I think having the guitar will give you some of the attack that will break up the smoothness of these like legato strings, dark, deep drums and like stuff like that. I think it'll help break it up a little bit and open it up just a hair. Submissions at the link in my bio, yo. Yeah, link in my bio, Samcat. Doom. You never got to my guitar solo yesterday? Kane, which line were you in, Kane? Let me know. I'm also going to have a choir and the hook. Let's go. Yeah. And so, yeah, keep all of that in mind, Derek, where like a lot of what you have going on is smooth, even stuff. Beautiful. That's awesome. Let's find a couple elements, guitar, banjo, tambourine, whatever. There's some shaker in there. I hear that too. But like let's give us a couple elements in here that kind of cut through the noise a little bit without interrupting things too much. Since everything is so smooth, coming from a cinematic track, that makes sense. There's a lot of legato strings. There's a lot of like slow moving pianos and pads and stuff like that. That makes all the sense in the world that this was a cinematics track and now it's morphing and molding into a country record. But I think the more that you can kind of mold this and fine tune it and make sure there's a couple more spots in there that punch a bit, you'll be in a good spot. Can you give me pointers, bro? I got a handful on all platforms. I'm mainly posting SoundCloud. Yeah, Turk, 100%. Everything is at the link in my bio. What we're doing right now is the consultation side. You also keep that in mind. So if you're wanting this kind of a deep dive where you spend 30 minutes breaking down your track, 20 to 30 minutes breaking down your track, that is on the consultation side, and you'll be ready to go. Submitted to the queue before you started yesterday, before that guy used 5 skips. Yeah, but which line? Were you in the consultation line or the free line? That way I know if I'm bringing you back into this live, or if you're going to start fresh in the free line. Free line hits reset every live, just because there's a ton of people to go into it. And so if I kept them all there every live, we'd have a couple hundred people per week that would be going through there. Let me know if you're if you paid, you're in the consultation line. If you were in the free line, then you can submit in fresh, or whatever makes the most sense for you. All right, but let's get a little deeper here. Love these drums, by the way. I think it could be potentially, again, maybe this is residue from the last version. I love bringing in this fiddle. Beautiful, fantastic. It works great in a record like this. I would maybe shy away from having too much of the tremolo. So we also have that, we also have that in the background right there. I would bring maybe that either out for, let's say, at least the A section of the verse, maybe bring it into the B section if you want to. Brush kit from Mirror, I believe. I love it, dude. It's so good. It's really, really solid. But right now, again, dynamically, we still have a lot of weight. We still have a lot of noise right there. It would be nice to empty out a little bit more and have like acoustics, drums with the, kick with the tambourine, maybe the fiddle at the top end, and a good clean vocal over it, and not feel like there's too much energy driving right now, really keeping the song loud and dynamic, but allow these dynamics to settle a little bit more before we get into the next hook. I'm excited to hear vocals on this though. It'll be cool. Yeah, this will be great, man. Once you lock off this in, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Same thing there, right? This big. What I would probably do there is cymbal swell in more naturally. Cymbal swell in, and then you know what I mean? Have a more natural tom, cut some of the extra cinematic bits right there. Cut some of maybe the acoustic driving and go into a nice big tom and snare drum roll, and then last hook right there, full dynamic, everything's in, but less of the big cinematic risers and then big snare hits. You know what I mean? Where it has so much energy behind it, where it's it just feels like we're in a different lane for a moment, and then we're back into and it feels this feels softer and nicer to listen to. That's very aggressive. This is all very, just a hill. Just use those same drums and go into it. This is so nice. This is so easy and chill, right? Again, it needs to be balanced, of course, but it's so easy and nice to listen to, and that's very aggressive. You know what I mean? That really cuts in. Bah! It's super, super heavy. Same with the risers leading up. So I would just take some, whether it's the tremolo on the strings, whether it's the, the risers, whether it's some of the fills and stuff like that. I would just take some of that out and replace it with things that are more in line, hopefully utilizing some of the sound design you already have, utilizing the kit that you already have, or more natural, one-shots and stuff that you can use from Splice to fill in some of those risers and stuff like that with natural cymbal fills, stuff like that. I think that'll just feel way more cohesive. It'll tie the whole track together. It won't feel like we're bouncing between different genres anymore. It'll feel very, again, still inspiring, still cinematic in some senses, especially like you said with the vocal. If the vocal is going to be very, inspiring and it's going to have a lot of weight to it and a lot of presence to it, awesome. If there's going to be a choir at the end, awesome. It can still carry a lot of that weight. It can still be really vibrant and energetic to listen to, while the sound design is maybe a bit more consistent and a bit more cohesive across the board. But y'all show some love, man. Show some love. Turk, Ash, thank you so much for the follows. I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much for tapping in today. I appreciate you being here. Thank link over the Heart Me as well. If you would like to submit your music, it is at the link in the bio. You'll see both lines, the free line as well as the paid consultation line. That is where you will submit your music, not here in the chat. Casey, you are muted for the rest of the live because people have told you like 4 different times that to stop spamming the chat. So let's get into the next track, man. Show some love to Derek Bennett. Show some love. Make sure that you follow him. Be a part of what they're doing. B, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Please do not spam the chat, especially after mods or other people have said, hey, don't spam the chat. It's at the link in the bio. Just don't spam the chat 15 times. The point is to be able to connect to people and talk with people and network and listen to music and submit your music if that's something that you're doing. But if you're just spamming the chat, that's just annoying. But let's get into it. Smith Productions, welcome in to the chat. But yeah, once again, please show some love to Derek Bennett. Love what you're doing, man. Love what you're doing. Let's keep it rolling. We got Lowcure in the building. Lowcure, make yourself known. Make yourself known. Make yourself known. But yeah, if you want to submit, it is at the link in the bio. Keep in mind what we just did. Those are the consultation sites. So those are long. They're 20 to 30 minutes a piece. We're diving into the music. Dropping there. Dude, Spides, I'm just tired after yesterday. Yesterday was crazy. Yesterday, the line was, nuts. And I got so fatigued yesterday from saying the same thing over and over again, and then having like 3 mods in here and they're all saying the same thing over and over again. And then I literally at one point I was like, hey, we're closed. And I put up my close, like I put up this. Spides, you might have been here, but I put up my close sign like right there. And I was like, look, big red sign, closed, big red sign. And just 50,000 things in the chat of people just spamming, listen to this, and can you listen to this one? What about this song? It just over and over again. I literally made it so big that it covered my whole face and it filled out the whole screen. I filled out the whole screen with a close sign. Made no difference. Made 0 difference whatsoever. People are still, I'm like, I don't even know. I got so fatigued. I was like, man, I'm tired. Scatterbrains, welcome in. Good to see you. Hey, Torvik, how do I handle someone else's music that they uploaded to my Amazon? We have the same name. Yeah, absolutely. Unreleased is perfectly fine. Most people send in unreleased. You can not send unreleased. You can send released stuff, but a lot of people send in unreleased tracks. In fact, the next song we're about to hear is released. I was out by then, so dude, it was wild, Spides. It was just crazy. Is it nuts? But yeah, unreleased is perfectly fine. Someone else's music that they uploaded to my Amazon, we have the same name. You handle it either like through your distribution, or you handle it through your artist profile with that. So I don't know if you've created. I don't even know, what kind of platform Amazon has for their artist profiles, but you can usually handle like claims and music that's not yours through there. So just as an example, it's happened to me on YouTube before. So on like YouTube Music or whatever it is, YouTube Red, I don't even know what they call it anymore. But on YouTube Music, there was someone else whose name was like Torvik, all caps or something like that. And they randomly played, submitted like 2 songs of theirs to platforms, and they went under my name. And so just literally through my YouTube profile, like through my YouTube for Music profile, I just said, these are not my songs, and they removed them. So usually through the platform, through your artist profile there, you can, I know I can't do it through SoundCloud for artists. I have to look at Amazon's process. Yeah, look at Amazon, and then maybe even check your distributor and see if they have any options. I know, what do you call it? Like being able to actually like connect with the platform is really hard sometimes. They're usually pretty terrible about stuff like that. And oftentimes it is just kind of a nightmare. It is just kind of a nightmare sometimes. But if you can do it directly through the platform, that's typically how. I know that's how you do it with Spotify. It's how you do it with, Tidal. It's how you do it with, Apple Music. I think there's even a function in there for you to check some things where something's not your production and try to mitigate that happening. But it kind of depends. The folk drama. If you are in the consultation line, if you paid yesterday, then just submit for free and I'll boost you. Just let me know. But if you were in the free line, yeah, you just resubmit. Yeah, absolutely, Ash. 100%. Okay, let's get it. Lowcure. This is Luna, independent artist from Tulsa, Oklahoma, 100% AI free. I compose, vocally perform, and work with a local producer for instrumentals. Let's go. It's time. Thank you for the gifts, DTSK. I appreciate you. I've chatted with the person before, sent a message. They haven't read it yet, though. Yeah, that's always tough because, like, to them, they're like, they want their song on their platform. You know what I mean? Like they want it represented in their platform. So they should want to have that happen. What they don't want to like post their music and then their music is going somewhere else and none of their fans can find it. So they should want to work it out. It's not like usually like a malicious thing where people are like trying to do something. It's usually just like, this is my name too. There's some interesting thing where like theirs is all caps, yours isn't, or they have a dot, yours didn't, whatever. It's like misdone through their distribution or whatever it is, misdistributed on the different platforms. Like it usually is something random, but they would rather it go to their profiles so they get views, they get streams, they get money, right? So that's why usually are pretty good about it. Try to reach out on a couple different platforms, like, hey, can you see what's going on here? This is on my profile, and see kind of what goes on. Because otherwise, it's just going to be annoying. It's kind of weird. Okay, if you have like some random opera track on your profile, it's going to be kind of funny. Okay, let's get into it. Lowcure, Luna. Let's dive in. Let me pull up the Spotify real quick. The Spotify's. Let's run it, man. Any other details you want me to know, drop it in the chat. And of course, I ask people this all the time. You mentioned some of it in your message, just like, let me know the role that you play in your music. Talk to me about mix. Did the producer handle the mix? So on and so on. And then, of course, let me know if there's any way that I can help. If there's any pain points that you have, if there's anything that you're like, I'm unsure about this. Maybe it's perfect, but I'm unsure about this thing. I second guess myself in this area. Just let me know. Let me know if there's any way that I can serve you, man, and help you out. But let's get into it. Lowcure music. Let's go. It's time. Handles tracking, have a friend who mixes. Beautiful.
And I will surely fade away to a
Thanks for the follow.
place where the sun always evades. And I've yet to know when I will make my great escape.
Good octave there, that's cool.
Wait for me, just let me be who I crave to be. Deviant moonlight, capture my soul, cease to exist.
Welcome in. Good to see y'all.
Only the sky, 'cause in the night I feel most alive. I'm restless.
Great high register. Come on.
So restless, so restless.
Yeah.
Darken my eyes, release the swells of joy inside, and don't be surprised if I'll make it back to the light. It fills my veins with your celestial blood. Consume me, renew me, open what above. Deviant moonlight, capture my soul, cease to exist in only the sky. 'Cause in the night I feel most alive. I'm restless, so restless.
Great fry. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, yo.
So take every part of me and tear it all down. 'Cause who I've been trying to be is only helping me drown. 'Cause no matter who I am in this moment, it doesn't change the fact that I'm in disconnect.
Your high mix voice is beautiful.
Cease to exist in
Yeah.
only the sky. 'Cause in the night I feel most alive. I'm restless, so restless.
It's a good mix too. It's a good mix. killer. Awesome. Yeah. Show some love. Lowcure. This is fantastic. Really, really cool. Let me double check a few things here. Beautiful. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. That is Lowcure music right here in the chat. Awesome voice, man. Really, really well executed, well performed. It's a great mix, too. You get that wall of sound. It's fuzzy, it's dirty, it's grimy where it's supposed to be, but also separated and clean and clear and transparent where it needs to be. So on the mixing side, on the practical side, it's very, very, very well done as well. And again, very, very good clarity and layering support. All of that's fantastic. So y'all show some love. If y'all want to submit, I see y'all dropping in the chat. If you want to submit your music for a consultation like we're doing now, it is all at the link in my bio. You'll see 2 lanes there. If you're wanting to do what we're doing now and go back through the song and spend 20 minutes plus breaking it down and getting into the details, that is the consultation side. That is all at the link in my bio if you would like to submit your music. Let's run it. There's one little thing that I'm going to listen for. It's on the vocal performance on the verses specifically. Once we get into this hook, y'all are locked in, dude. I mean, it is powerful. It's energetic. It's a wall of sound. High mix voice is great. You're blending into your fry screams are just a really smooth transition. Mixed well, all that, right? Phrasing on your first verse is something I'd be interested in. Just getting into maybe more consistent melody structure, more consistent syllable counts. There's a couple what feel like rushed lyrics or slightly inconsistent lyric structure that I would love to polish little things like that, just so this is as palatable as possible. It's still your song, your structure, your phrasing for the most part, but just timed in a way that's easier for people to get into, easier for people to like hear, remember, latch onto. It's catchy, it's sticky, it's gluey, and everything else is done. Everything else is fantastic. So I want to dive into that for just a moment, but man, y'all are killer. Y'all seriously very talented across the board. Great production, great vocal performance. Y'all are killing it, man. Are these demo or finished tracks? Both, Allie. Absolutely, it's going to be all over the place. Like I mentioned before, we're going to get people that are sending in voice memos of them humming. We're going to get full Grammy-winning musicians. We're going to get, people that are sending in unreleased stuff, people that are sending finished stuff. This one is released, so this one's on all platforms. The last song was a demo without even any vocals on it yet, so on and so on. So we're going to get all over the place. A lot of people send in exactly packed. Yeah, super clean, but terrible and grimy at the same time. I love it. We're going to have a huge spectrum of quality and a huge spectrum of styles and languages and stuff like that too. So this is Luna by Lowcure. It is out on all platforms, so please go stream it, go like it, go add it to your playlist, go show them some love and support, go follow on Spotify, go follow on social platforms, and let's get into it. Yeah, I'm just really looking for the nitpick. I have 1 waiting mix and master still. Beautiful. That's what we're here for. And 10 written yet to record. I love to hear it. You got some in the chamber. Beautiful. DK, thank you so much for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. All right, let's dive in. The artist just hit me back after I left, said they're going to look into it and said they never know. So, okay, beautiful. Dude, awesome. Most of the time, it's as simple as that. Like literally, when that happened to me on YouTube Music, it was like half a day later, it was moved. You know what I mean? Like I just submitted the claim with YouTube and was like, this is not my song. I don't know if they look in the metadata. I don't know, to kind of see the source. Obviously, it wasn't the same artist and they switched it over. So it's usually pretty easy. Hopefully they can take care of it with their distribution or with their own artist profile. So you're not having to file a claim with Amazon or something like that. So anyways, let's get into it. Oh, and then one other note on introduction to the song. Great identifiable riff, by the way. I mean, we talk about this all the time of having an instrumental hook as well as a vocal hook. That is a really, really good, clean, clear, identifiable vocal hook on the guitar. The slides are beautiful. Awesome. Okay, so let's get into this really quick. Okay, just a quick note. So that's about 34 seconds in, okay? Nothing specifically wrong with this. I want to talk about, again, everyone can make music however it makes sense for them to make music in whatever format it makes sense, right? So there's nothing wrong with what y'all did here, but I'm going to let you know kind of the results of it when it comes to the technical side of streaming. There are thresholds that have to be met for the listener to listen to your song in order for you to get paid and for it to count as a stream, right? Most of the major DSPs, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon, so on and so on, I think Tidal too, most of them are 30 seconds, okay? That means that people have to listen to your song for at least 30 seconds before they count it as a stream and you get paid for it. Now, again, that can just be a fact, and we just kind of keep that in the back of our mind, but it also can be a way that we can utilize how we build out our song structure to make sure that people get there, right? One thing to keep in mind is that now, especially because, and everyone has a different opinion on this, of course, but especially because of AI music now, we're probably close to, okay, so it was about 1 million songs a week. It's probably closer to 3 or 4 million songs a week that are placed on platforms, right? That's going to be different over time. Before that, it was a little bit less. It was up to like 800 to 1 million songs a week getting put on Spotify, so on and so on. Now it's a bit higher, obviously, because people are creating 7 albums a day and stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of changes in that, and so that's not what this is about. But the result of that is there's a mass amount of saturation as far as musical content getting placed places. That's released stuff. That is distributed content. That doesn't count the probably 10x that on the beats that are just put on YouTube and put on BeatStars and random music stuff people post on social media. It's a mass amount of saturation. And what that means when it comes to people streaming your music is that you could have 1 million people. Thank you for the follow. You could have 1 million people that stream your music for 28 seconds, and you'll see 0 streams and zero money from it, right? You need to get people past that 30-second threshold, or you just don't, and you're just like, I want the intro to be what it is. I don't really care. I would highly recommend tightening up intro structure. And again, this is not to be like too algorithmic and robotic about your music. It's just being strategic. It's taking what you have there and making sure that there's elements of it that are still going to maintain people's attention, not just musically. The thing that I recommend for most people, if you make music with a vocal in it, is to introduce yourself early. Introduce yourself. 100%, Toby. Our first song today didn't have vocals. Introduce yourself early in the song. Span is less than 10 seconds out. Right. I mean, it's just like people will hear this will come on a playlist and they'll hear the music for a while, and then it'll go to like what kind of almost sounded like it was the verse, and then nothing happened, and then the vocal finally came in at 34 seconds-ish, 33 seconds. And you just don't want people to skip past that, right? You might see 1,200 streams on your song, but there might have been 8,000 engagement points, 8,000 people that actually clicked into it and then didn't follow through, right? Try it with the ooh falsetto during the intro with this in mind, 100%. Okay, so I'm gonna start it over from the top again. My intuition tells me is actually this little breakdown between the main riff. We have stages of this intro. I think going into the second stage where it cuts down either needed to be 2 seconds or not there. Personal opinion, I'm not the creative in this instance, right? So you can also ignore this. This is not a right or wrong thing. It's just there's consequences to how we build our song structure, right? Especially when it comes to algorithms and streaming. I'll kind of show you kind of what I'm talking about here. So let me back it up here. Yeah, 100%. And again, that's always the game we have to play. And you can literally, this is what's so beautiful about art, and this is what is so great about the subjectivity of how you want to make your music, is you can just be like, I know it's not the best for platforms. I know that it is like probably not ideal algorithmically, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like that's a completely a 100% valid take. You know what I mean? So I bring this stuff to our attention so that people learn that these things exist, and so that they learn that it is something they can kind of keep in mind within the structure of their music. And if they're trying to get more streams, and the aim of the song is to get a lot of exposure and to get fans of their music and get a lot of people to, engage with what they're doing, then there's things we can do to help with that or to mitigate them not doing that. And so it's just, anyways, that's why I bring it up. So I'm going to start it from the top. I'll listen for that ooh in there, and then I'll kind of tell you about the little breakdown there. I don't mind the breakdown, but I think you could probably do one take through that melody right there. Like one take of the dun, 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 boom. And then like verse hits right there. That saves you about like maybe 7 or 8 seconds right there. You know what I mean? It was meant for a pop break to be like, this isn't all heavy. Sure, 100%. And again, completely valid. Completely valid. All right. Thank you for the follow. Exactly. So like here, and it goes through it twice. So at the very least, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Like we have like 6, 7 seconds of going through it a second time. Yeah, it's there, but kind of distorted. I think if we had, the breath helps. Again, there's a lot of things you're doing. Thanks for the gifts, y'all. Appreciate it. There's a lot of things that you're doing that are awesome. So I'm I'm diving into a couple minute details and kind of hanging on there for a second, although there's a bunch of other amazing things happening that you've done perfectly. So the breath is great at the beginning, some of the falsetto, distorted in the background, filtered and gated. All that's great. All that's great. I think I'm actually going to chop through something real quick. I'm going to jump forward and then kind of jump back. I want to hear something real quick. So like, da, da, da. So I'm hearing like that high push right there. So I'm curious again. I'm just trying to use my imagination with the production that's in front of me. The song is obviously out. I'm speaking to the future in a sense of like some things to keep in mind. Some just to get your own. These aren't like corrections necessarily. More like getting your creative wheel spinning to see like how you could approach a next record and how to optimize a couple things. Like I'm hearing like some of these ending lines, like the punchlines of your hook that you could have in like imagine this. Something that da 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 way in the background, but it's telephone filtered out. It's 7 dB in a back, 7 dB in the back, has a stereo like slow modulation stereo chorus on it, and it's actually like gated to the beat, and it's kind of way back there, like something like. But you're bringing in a familiar element. When it happens again, people have kind of heard it before. It's one of your main punchlines of the last part of your hook, and you go into the high vocal, the high mix voice right there, stuff like that, right? Like reintroducing elements of the song, creating a vocal texture early on that's maybe more distinct. It's maybe more or maybe less instrumental. High harmony, or are you talking with the vocal, like literally copying that vocal over, like copying it over and going here. Like this, let this come in. And then kind of here. And then bring it down. Cut in here, and then verse 2, 3, 4, verse, boom. I don't think we need the second part. It's the second part right there. Then it's like now now the dynamic has shifted lower, and we've extended that lower dynamic. I think if we just did one full set of measures here, it's killer. You give it that softness that you're looking for. I think we can go half of that, and then boom, beat kicks in. You still get the break, like we still get vocal texture early, a little bit more prominently. We get a tighter structure leading into the verse. You still get that pop element to like soften the production a little bit for a moment, but we go 4 measures instead of 8 measures, and then verse kicks in. Anyways, all just ideas, all just kind of things to kind of get your wheel spinning. And I think it would just get more people locked into the song sooner. They hear, because I'm imagining as like a first listener, if in the intro of the song, not only do I hear a powerhouse production, you know what I mean? I hear a crazy production with a great lead riff. I also hear a really good quality high lead vocal in the background. Yeah! Doing the high notes right there in the background. I'm like, oh, someone who can fucking sing is here. You know what I mean? Like there's an expectation leading into the song that's like, I'm here for something good. You know what I mean? So within that first 12 to 15 seconds, you've heard a lot of really, not that every song has to be this way, of course, it's going to be different song to song, but in this genre, you're hearing some like impressive, really engaging elements of the song. You change the dynamics dramatically. You go down to the low synth, beautiful. You shorten it, you tighten it. Song's like punchier, it's engaging, and you're giving people a lot of info really early that I think is going to allow them to latch onto the song for a little bit longer. And hopefully, of course, get you past that 30-second mark. Because again, it really can be. I wish you could see more fine-tuned analytics on this stuff. They just don't really have it on most of the platforms because it's so nuanced. I wish it was like YouTube, where you could see that like, hey, 92% of people listened to the song for like 4%, and then this amount of people stayed this long, so on and so on. Like I wish we could get that level of detail where you could be like, oh yeah, all of these people, they started listening to the song, it fell off after 7 seconds, fell off after 28 seconds, and then a couple, 48 people stayed for the whole song or something like that. I wish we could see that, but you never know. I guess my point is you never know how many people are engaging with the song, but then just not sticking around for it because they weren't given anything that was different, like dramatically different, or grabbed them more than any other song in this genre that they already love and adore, that already has 10 million monthly listeners. You know what I mean? There's already so many people that are already doing music. Like I said, couple million songs a week that are put on platforms that you really, that's why I think it's so necessary to introduce like your voice in some distinct way as early as you have the ability to in the production, because I really feel like it makes a difference. There's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of saturation out there. And so I think it is important to be like, hey, like what is Lowcure? Like what does Lowcure do? And you come in with a strong vocal like that, it changes things a little bit. I can almost assure you, no guarantees, but I can almost assure you more people will engage. This is why we just dropped God Save the Nurse by Penny Parker. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, any genre. It's all at the link in my bio. All right, let's get into it.
And I will surely fade away to a dark place where the sun always...
Okay, so now the only other thing I want to address, because the rest of this is gorgeous. I want to get towards the end of the song in a second and just let it play through. The only other thing for me I want to address is just phrasing for this first verse. There's like a couple little lines in here. Let's get it.
Time dissipates, and I will surely fade away to a dark place where the sun always evades, and I've yet...
So there's a couple different phrases in there. One has a pretty strict, like, so the first one has like a strict triplet to the movement. The next one is on the grid, but it's like eighth notes. It goes faster. And then the next line has a evades, has a longer hold on that note to follow the same melody. So there's like some small changes in like syllable count and phrasing and rhythms of each of those vocals that's making your melody line to line to line a little bit different. And so just as a listener, like learning the song and when you like, how do I sing this with you, right? Again, as the writer of the song, as the vocalist on the song, you're telling us what we're singing, right? You're telling us exactly what we should try to sing when we sing the song. And if there's like a very small, minute little change each time that makes it a little bit more challenging, it just makes it a little bit harder to remember. And it also just like as the listener, it just doesn't stick as much. You don't get that kind of dopamine hit of the pattern recognition that kind of locks you into the song where it's like dun 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 dun. Like if you can have like, again, I still want some changes in melody. I still want some twists and turns in here, but like the core of it to be maybe a little bit more consistent. I have a background in progressive music, so I tend to, yeah, I mean, if you're used to like progressive stuff, if you're used to like fusion, where it's like, that's open season, you know what I mean? Like it's a different world and it's a different audience. In this more like modern metal and stuff like this tier that where it's like very alternative, but it has a really cool, it's a very like, feels very mathematic oftentimes. The gating of the guitars, the structure of the drums, it's very raw, but it still is, it's very mathematical. It's pretty algorithmic as far as like, this is a tight production. You know what I mean? Like this is tight, this is polished, this is professional. Try to get some of that out of that vocal too. Once you get to the hook, game over. It's awesome. It sounds great. These early verses, there's some of those different changes where it feels like we had to kind of rush a lyric to get it in there, as opposed to maybe doing some small changes to like match the syncopation with the first phrase, since it's similar syllable count. Match the syncopation there, or slightly change the melody on the first time to line it up a little bit better, stuff like that. Then my first go at a more palpable heavy pop center track. Yeah, I mean, and again, like 99% of the time, I think you absolutely crushed him. And it's really good. I'm being nitpicky. I mean, you asked for that. I'm being nitpicky, but like, and these are like very, very small details. But the thing I don't want to happen is for it to be a phenomenal sound. Like when we're here and we're sitting down and we're listening to it, phenomenal sound. But for whatever reason, psychologically people forget it, whether it's because that vocal didn't come in strong enough early, so they skipped early because of the 30-second rule, or it's because there's small changes in melody. They loved it the first time that they heard it, and then they forgot it. They figured the next 3 songs came on their playlist and they never remembered the song before, right? Because there wasn't that pattern recognition. You get that with the hook, and I think that's really powerful. But yeah, if you can get that on the verses as well, dude, game over. So good. Link in bio if you want to submit.
Just let me be who I crave.
Harmonies are beautiful.
Deviant moonlight.
This is great. Come on.
Capture my soul, cease to existence.
Woo!
Only the sky, 'cause in the night I feel most alive. I'm restless, so restless.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of this gets It's locked in, dude. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, let me get into this like last section of the song right here towards the outro. The rest of this is awesome, man. Seriously, so proud of the work that you put into this. The people that you're working with, the ones that are working through the rest of the instrumentation and mix and stuff like that, they're awesome, man. Very, 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 very well done. Like this is so good. I hyper focus on the first like 35 seconds of the song. You know what I mean? Because I mean, obviously, like a movie, like a show, like a piece of content, like your music on platforms, that is a really vital piece of the puzzle to getting people to stay for the rest of the 4-minute song, right? And so that's why I'm focusing on that a little bit more. The rest of this is gorgeous, man. I mean, and the intro is still beautiful. It's more technical as far as why people might stay or not, but it's still sound design-wise still sounds awesome. It doesn't sound bad in any sense at all. All right, let's get into the outro here, last minute or so. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Y'all show some love. Show some love, show some love. That is Luna by Lowcure. Lowcure, y'all are awesome, man. So well done. Show some love and support. If y'all are here in the chat and you like what you heard, that song is out on all platforms. Go like it, go stream it. Go add it to your playlist. Go follow on Spotify. Go follow here on social platforms, so on and so on. Show some love and support. Let's keep it rolling. Once again, if you do want to submit your music, it is all at the link in my bio, whether you're submitting for the free line or what we're doing now, which are those 20 to 30-minute deep dive consultations. If you want to get into the nuances of your mix, production, sound design, lyrics, song structure, so on and so on, that is all on the consultation line. The free line is an up to 2-minute spin and a quick note at the end. We got Let's Chill in the building. Let's Chill, hop in the chat. Let me know where you're at. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. There's Brady. Let's go. What's up, Alea? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been forever. It's been forever. Good to see you. Thanks for tapping in. Setup looking clean. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. We're always trying to do the most. Brady's in the building. Let's go. Brady's Let's Chill, right? Let's get into it. But good to see you. Hope y'all are doing well. It's been a minute. All right, let's see. All right, let's get into it. This is Let's Chill, I Want to Live. Hey, Torvik, my vocalist decided to re-record You Don't Mean It. So in the meantime, I put together this minimal dance track. I found this vocalist on Fiverr to sing the hook. $50. Let's get it. Nothing wrong with a $50 vocal. Never really made anything this minimal before, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't know where to take it next. This one will come out after You Don't Mean It. Okay, so this is fresh to me. I don't think I've heard any version of this one, right? Especially with this particular vocal. So let's get into it. I Want to Live by Let's Chill. Let's dive in. Pitt, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate you so much. It's time. All right, and you do all of this yourself, right? Let's Chill. All the production. It's that like Netflix interlude. You know what I mean? It's like Love is Blind. They're moving out of something. You know what I mean? Tap, I'm the chill guy, David. Let's go. It's that Netflix transition music. That's a good check, though. I don't know. They're doing like a dance party and like Love is Blind in the pods or something, and this is playing. You know what I'm talking about. Good to see you, Tep. Hope you're doing well, man. No, Reverb, I did not forget something. Reverb is perpetually telling me that I have something in my cart that I'm not going to buy. Let's see. There's nothing wrong with that, Brady. I'm telling you. I invite the Netflix check. I'm perfectly fine with that. Link in my bio. Link in my bio to submit. I like that like sixth expanded right there. That's cool. Gives it a little bit of tension, but it's really clean. Yeah, once we get into this fills out a little bit more. Link in my bio if you want to submit. Link in my bio. Don't spam the chat. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all, please show some love to the family. That's Brady right here in the chat. The artist name is Let's Chill. The song is I Wanna Live. Let's get into it. I love so much about the structure. I mean, it's chill. It's easy. It's a very, very smooth listen. I would love a little bit more variation in sound design. Maybe once we get into the breakdown and, we can talk about maybe a couple ways we can shift the energy a little bit, maybe fill out the mids. It's very great, presence in the low end. It's bright and airy, especially with the vocal at the top end. So maybe we can fill in those, fill in the middle a little bit more as far as just frequency, maybe like one other stack that we bring in there, some interlude arpeggios to kind of fill in some of the middle. But otherwise, man, like I everything that you do currently have here, I like a lot. It sounds good. Yeah, me too, Teb. Me too. I'm open to everything right now. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. And we got Tep in the building as well. Let's go, Tep. I see you, man. I appreciate you so much. All right, let's run it. Especially because, so one of the reasons why I say that too is we start the song, we bookend the song with this like fifth, right? With this really, really heavy bass. And I like everything about it, man. It sounds good. Thank y'all for the follows. I appreciate that too. I like the way the bass sounds. I like what it's doing. It's doing a lot of great things. Nothing about what you currently have I dislike. I think it's just about adding and manipulating to make sure that this all, feels more interesting over the course of the song, keeps people engaged a little bit more. Since we start with the synth and we end with the synth and everything in between is this synth, I think it is necessary to have some shifts in the energy there. So this dum, 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 dum doesn't start to feel too monotonous, right? Even something that sounds really good, too much of a good thing can sometimes end up being monotonous over the long term. So some small changes to that, even just like opening up the filter, like maybe once the vocal kicks in for the verse, we like filter it down with the cutoff a little bit to kind of soften it just a little bit. There's some ways that we can ease it a little bit and maybe just open it back up for the hook. Simple manipulation of the filter, just some automation there could change the feel a little bit. Yeah, link in my bio if you want to submit. Link in my bio. What's up, Sebi? Welcome in. Is this the only vocal from is this the only vocal that came on Fiverr for the 50? Just that I Want to Live on the Dance Floor. Is someone that got on Fiverr? What's up, Sebi? Good to see you. I like it. I wish there was some variety to it, but I do like it. Because it's kind of your verse and it's all you got. Because it is kind of your, so again, I like everything that's there. I want more. Like, because it's only one line, it is your verse and it is your breakdown. So that is a little bit limiting as far as how you can build dynamics with it, right? I was going to say, honestly, I would, Brady. I don't know if that's all that was requested or that's just like all they sent. For $50, $50 is not, it was $50. So $50 is not a crazy amount to get paid for session vocals. It's also not nothing, to be honest with you, just because I know a lot of people on Fiverr and I've done work on Fiverr before, like session work, and I've done some like sync stuff on Fiverr and stuff like that. A lot of these people, including this artist, they probably slap a preset on their vocal and send you this in like 15 minutes. That's all I asked for at the time. If they're open to it, and they might not be, and that would be valid because it's all you asked for. So you got to kind of, maybe they just like, no, that was your $50 and you're gone. That's up to them. That'd be valid technically. If they're up for it, if they could give you a couple cheap lines. Yeah, you mix it. Okay. If they could give you a couple cheap lines, you know what I mean? Of just Marty's fantastic coach, we may name a better coach. I don't know what we're talking about. A couple simple lines for a verse would be super, super helpful, because I do think if it's just all, I want to live, is that's the whole thing. And that's the whole thing. That's all that we hear. I think we're talking about hockey. Oh, okay. I was like, dude, I have no clue what's going on here. What's up, Retrack? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I was like, hold on, what's happening? Okay. Let's get back into it though. That would be my next. That would be my next request for this. Would be if we can get a more nuanced vocal structure on here, because I like what I hear. But what I would love is if, let me see. What's up, Retrack? Good to see you, man. So like, what would be nice if they just had another, you know, and then maybe they go into, and they go into the build up right there, and it's the dance floor part, right? Like just like a couple lines that are like simple. They're a different melody. You allow you to fill in a little bit more of a verse right there. I think it would be really nice. It'd be really nice, because that's one of my main complaints, even though it's not really a complaint because the sound's fine. My main complaint is that it will get really repetitive, because the production is kind of forced repetitive because of that. And then of course the vocal structure is your verse, it's your hook, it's your bridge, it's back to a hook, it's a verse. It's the same vocal texture the whole time. Of course you can manipulate it more, you could chop it, you could stutter it, we can form it, shift it a little bit. If you can shift this a little bit, you'll be golden. I would keep the I want to live on the dance floor. I want to live on the dance floor I think is a great build up, maybe a great hook, but I think what I would do, I'll tell you my ideal world. You can completely ignore this and do it a different way. It's your song, of course, obviously. In my ideal world, hearing this vocal sample, you have a distinct verse that's a verse, and it feels like a verse, right? I want to live on the dance floor, I would keep as your buildup. I think that works really well as like you start to build up your snare, you build up some energy, the risers are coming in, and you have a loop of this, I want to live on the dance floor. That's a great buildup line. And then you go into your main breakdown, and your main breakdown is your drums and your synths and your bass, and you open it up and it's a dance, it's a dance house track, and it's great, right? And then you have some chops of that vocal, or you use the dance floor as your transition when you go back into it again. You add the shaker, like you use it as your buildup vocal, and then some chops of it in your breakdown, but that's it. Now, not in the verse at all, and not mainly in the hook, just mainly on the buildup and like some chops of like saying dance floor at the end of the measure to transition and stuff like that. If that makes sense. Okay. Like this is all great on this buildup here as we're kind of getting into it. That's where I mainly hear this. It's a great buildup vocal. I like the high synth too. A lot of your sound design's great. Really good. Boom. Right? Like, I would like rather it, again, feel free to ignore. I would rather you like on the transitions here. And then still instrumental. Like still instrumental here, not the main vocal as the hook again, but just bring in some other chops of it. You know what I mean? I can't do that with my voice, right? I don't have like gross beat on my vocal, but you get the idea. I think if we made it more interesting and engaging right there, I think it would add a little bit more to it that I think would be more enticing to listen to. It might be a tad too generic. Yeah, I mean, and like some of that can even be somewhat intentional, right? As Tep, as you know, it's like there's a time and place for the more creative decision, and then there's a time for like this is the most commercially viable decision, and that's both are valid kind of for different reasons, right? Summers at Old Navy, you know what I mean? Like there's a time and place for that too. Yeah. But I think if it's the same repetition of that vocal, I think we can chop it and we can switch it up a little bit. Rely more on the production than the vocal. Rely on interesting sound design choices. So like every 4 measures, yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah, I got 100%. Every couple measures, I need a new thing to happen. So like after the first 4 measures, dude, 100% code, classically trained pianist since I was 6 years old. I love piano pieces. If you can, like every 4 measures, so like first 4 measures happen and then add a crazy new shaker with a lift on it that's like auto panning just a little bit to create some other interest there. And then if you're gonna go full like 16 measures on like your third set of measures, add in another synth line that fills in the middle a little bit more, stabs a bit, a low like house piano that fills in the middle, like nasty M1 style stuff. Fills in the middle a little bit more. And on the last section, it's a crazier chop, so on and so on, right? So I think we can shift and we can move this a little bit. So like every 4 measures, there's a little bit of new information for a 16 measure breakdown. I think if we keep it too rigid, of course, it's gonna sterilize after a while. It's gonna become monotonous. And I think we can open it up. Jakey, any style, it's been all over the place. We started with like a cinematic country record, went into, I don't even remember what we had after. It's been all over the place. It's gonna be like a hodgepodge of different genres and styles and stuff like that. Whether it's like we had a metal track. So we went from like a cinematic country record to a metal track to like a chill house record right here. It's all over. It's all over the place. Any style, any genre, any language. We're listening to a lot. I have not heard Ben and Bang. Link in my bio if you want to submit y'all. Code, thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. And I would either, if you can get out again, I don't know what you paid for. Like, I know you paid $50, but like, I don't know how much you could get out of this vocal. If they said $50 and you sent them that line and that was like it, I don't know if they're going to be willing to like write 2 verses. I don't know how much that $50 is to that person, right? Some people do $50 and they create an entire song from scratch. And then other people, it's like, no, that's like a couple lines, you get 30 seconds of content and you move on, right? And you have to pay, a couple $100 to get like a full vocal stack. But like, if they're willing, you can just talk to, yeah, exactly. If you can just ask the questions, be like, hey, I would actually love to get like a very simple, I'll chop it up, get a verse, get a second verse, because you have a full 2 verses on here and it could use the content. It could use a little bit more going on there. And I think that's going to transform the way that this, because right now the repetition is going to drain you a bit. I've never been to the studio. My work lacks the auto quality. It's not a problem at all. Most of the people coming in are not going to studio. Some people are, but a lot of people are just doing home recording. Technically, I am too, even though this is kind of a crazy home setup. Again, use this on the build-up, and then boom. I mean, again, it's very on the nose, but that works. Small change. A lot of the sound design is great. It's really clean. And then right here, extra shaker. Right? Like open it up a little bit more, one other layer. And then have like one more layer, bring it in. Right, like on these like secondary layers, like an octave higher. Let me see. Right? I'm gonna go an octave higher. I'm gonna switch pianos. And then go here. And like another like filler, right? Like another filler in there. But just having we need another and take that, run with it, do anything that that makes sense again with you. But like having something like that. It doesn't have to be that kind. Just literally just open up the other piano. But something that opens up, again, every 4 measures or every 8 measures, we introduce a new texture, a new dynamic, right? And we're continuing to just like elevate the song and open it up a little bit more. I think it just needs those little layers right there. Vocals will help. talking about the vocals. The vocals will help open it up and shift the energy, so on and so on. But I think on the production as well, every 4 measures, every 8 measures, we need some small changes in production so that we're not relying so much on just that bass line, because the bass line's carrying right now. The bass and the drums, like the dum dum dum, that's carrying the whole song, and it sounds great. I really like it. The sound design is great. Old Baby, welcome in. Good to see you on Twitch. That's carrying, right? It's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here, and it does sound good, but we need some other elements to help ease that load and create some other interest in the production, man. You're going to be ready to go, man. It sounds great. It sounds great. It sounds great. Y'all show some love, man. Show some love to the family. That is I Want to Live by Let's Chill. If you can't get more vocals, then your challenge is set for you, right? If you can't get more vocals, and they just say like, nah, man, that was it. Revisions are closed, so on and so on. Then you got to get into chopping. You got to maybe find another vocal on Splice or something like that, and then pitch it and stretch it to make it like an obvious format shifted verse vocal, and then go into the dance floor on the build up, right? Like we got to shift some energy right there. So if you can't get vocals, your work is going to be cut out for you, right? But I think small changes in sound design over your hook and stuff like that, in order to spice it up a little bit and create a little bit more intrigue and nuance there, and then of course work on the vocals if you do have the ability to start doing that. What you have so far, I love though, man. It's clean, it's simple, sounds good. Just needs, I think, to be fleshed out a little bit more. Let's go. Y'all, please show some love to the family. Love what you do. Let's Chill. Thank you so much for sending that in and your patience as well. If y'all would like to submit your music, we're on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube right now. If you are on TikTok and you would like to send in your music for the consultations that we're doing right now, all of that is at the link in my bio. If you go to the link in my bio, you see everything that you need right there. You'll see the line, the order. You'll be able to check the queue there. You'll be able to submit for either that free line or the consultation line that we're in right now. All of that is at the link in my bio. If you are over on Twitch, you can type !submit in the chat and the line will pop up for you. If you're on YouTube, it is at the description of the live stream. Let's go. Shout out to Brady. We are artists from Russia. Will you listen to us? Will you communicate through translation? Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Any genre, any language. Absolutely. All right, let's, and if you're on Twitch, it's just type !submit. !submit. Actually, I'll do it for you. Boom. Right there. There's the link over on Twitch. Okay. Again, if you are on TikTok, I need you to go to the link in my bio. Do not submit here in the chat. All right, let's dive into it. We got Tep No in the building. I have a sense we're about to go house track back to back. We got Tep in the building. We are Canadian today. Let's go. We got Canada in the building. An unreleased song that my sync guy has been submitting a lot lately. Let's go. All right, this is being submitted in the background. Let's go, Tep. Let's go. Sebi, I got you. Thank you so much. Not a house track. Okay, cool. You don't have to be on TikTok. Skylab, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Why wouldn't it let you, Jakey? Tep. Give yourself grace. Don't be afraid. You can hold down on it and hit open in browser. Or try it on Instagram, same name. Tep, this is smooth, man. Yeah, appreciate you. Let me know if you have any other issues. You do smooth so well, man. Pack this, I got you. Appreciate you. Where'd you get that guitar? So good, man. Y'all show some love. Give it up on time for the family. Tepno in the building, the 600 million stream man right here in the chat. Y'all, please show some love. If you're not already engaged with what Tep is doing, the man's a monster. Go show him some love, man. Go stream his music. He needs help with streams. He doesn't have any streams, so go stream his music. He can use all the help. He could use all the help you can offer. But y'all, please show some love. Show some love. Let's get into it, man. This is smooth. This is super, super chill. I love the movement. I love that this is like, I know a lot of how you like make your music and some of the background stuff, you know what I mean? And just how sometimes perceptively simple your process is, but still how like impactful your structures are. Like they're just so easy to listen to, man. They're so easy to listen to. Let's run it from the top, man. Let's get into it. Link in my bio if y'all would like to submit your music. It's all submitted there. Love the flanging. That movement's nice. Link in my bio, y'all. Okay, nice, man. I hope you get a placement for this one too. Give yourself grace. Don't be afraid. Is that background sample off Splice 2, or is that your vocal format shifted up and pitched up right there? So okay, here's the thing. Yeah, Splice 2. Okay, nice. It sounds great. Again, everything that you've connected together works really well, man. It works really well. What I like least on it is my voice. I actually really like your voice on this. Similar criticism as some of the other songs that we've gone through, of course. A little bit of low, mid, mud, 100 to 300, 100 to 400 hertz. A little bit boomy right there. I want it to be doubled, and I want that kind of noise that comes with like doubling and having that frequency rub right there in the chorusing. I think if you can mitigate a little bit of that, like just proximity mud right there, right? If you can mitigate a little bit of that, I think you can clarify that vocal pretty easily. I'm really not too worried about it. This is a vibe for, I used to double my vocals more. Yeah, I mean, I like this, man. I think it sounds great. This is a vibe forward song. So the good thing is that you don't have to rely on perfect legibility for your vocals here for this to work well, for it to get placed, for you to get paid for it, but to know is a priority. And so with something like this, I wouldn't worry too much about how clean and transparent the vocal is. You can deal with a little bit of mud and a little bit of noise in there, and of course it can still make perfect sense, but wouldn't mind if a little bit of that 100 to 300 felt a little bit better balanced, so you can push it if you need to a little bit more, but not too concerned. Not too concerned with it. Give yourself grace. Don't be afraid. Because you can probably you can probably create a little bit of a balance. A little Tame Impala, 100%, especially if you were to like actually saturate a little bit more. Like if you wanted to dig into it a little bit more, I'd maybe, tape saturate the drums a little bit, maybe even throwing like a flanger on the drums occasionally to give it a little bit of texture. I like what you have here. You don't have to do anything, but I like a lot of what you have here. But on the vocals, I do think I would open it up, right? So I do think that like low mids on the vocal, as we already mentioned, can be suppressed lightly. We're talking, 2-3 dB, nothing too crazy. And even slightly open up the top, 8K plus, 9K plus. Same thing, 2-3 dB, a little bit of a more open balance. It's a nice bright track, right? It's pretty airy. The guitars are nice and spacious. The drums are like, they're snappy and they're bright. You have some bright vocal samples in the background. Yeah, it's nice that it's being submitted, but it's not finalized for like platforms. So that's kind of nice. So in my opinion, I would keep 90% of what you have here as is. You know what I mean? I think if you keep 90% of this where it is. And then on the vocal side, little bits of polish. This is not something I would overproduce or overtune. Keep the doubles, control mud on the low mids, 300 hertz and below, and then top end, open it up just a hair over the top, 8K, 9K, bring it back up 2-3 dB, rebalance that vocal so it shines a little bit more, has a little bit more shimmer to it, especially in connection with the rest of the production. Then you're gold, man. Then it's easy. I just submitted, I'm 30th in line. Can I send you a song even though I didn't make it? I prefer that it's yours. It can't be a popular artist since the yellow letters. I actually removed top end on the vocals right now. That's a taste. That's a taste thing then, right? If you don't want them there, don't worry about it. I do think it would be nice to hear it open up over the top a little bit. If you don't want to open up the top end more and actually brighten the vocals anymore, then for sure address the low end. Because if the top end is filtered down or just not pushed, right? If the top end's a little bit flatter and it's a little bit muddy down here, then it'll sound a little noisy, it'll sound a little muddy and kind of goopy in the middle of the mix. But even if you don't address the top end, but you control this, the bias is going to move towards those high mids. The bias is going to move towards those higher vocals. So even if you don't brighten it, if you're like, no, I want it to feel warmer, I removed 3 dB at 8K. Okay, if you want it a little bit more mellow there, valid. It's obviously completely valid there. Still control low end and the bias will go, right? Like just as an example, like if I go, I'm going to redarken this a little bit, right? So if I have my vocal, I'm going to kind of filter this down a little bit more, right? And my vocals like typically here, right? This is a little bit darker, a little bit boomier. I just dropped the high end on the vocal. I'm not going to touch the high end at all. I'm only going to lower the like 200 to 300 hertz, right? If I just control this, immediately the vocal, it's going to sound thin now by default, but it's going to sound thin, but immediately the attention kind of goes to the high end, right? It still sounds a little filtered down, sure, but it sounds a little bit brighter in contrast to like how, thick and boomy this feels, right? Just by controlling low end, the attention kind of moves towards the high end. So even if you don't want to go too crazy, and I've removed -2.5 at 154 hertz, yeah, that's fine. You could probably go a little bit higher. What I would probably do is keep your high pass there. I'm going to put this back. Hold on one second. Let's put this back up where I want it. There we go. I would, so right now you have a high pass at 150-ish. The high pass, so it's cutting all below that, right? I would do a bell curve, so a swoop, right? Actually create a bell curve, and I would do it at 200 to 250, like maybe around for your vocal in this particular song, maybe like 250. So it's going to, high pass and low pass. So do a bell curve so it's not cutting. Do a bell curve that's like, it'll range essentially between 100 and 400 hertz, right? It'll cross that gap between 100 and 400 hertz, but you're actually the frequency you're going to target is like 250. And when you pull down 250, it's a broad bell curve right there that's going to suppress some of that low end. Even just like 2 dB there is going to help. It's going to help control some of that low mud right there. And then even if you don't open up the top end too much, have you heard? 100%. They got that viral song right now. I'm in band and I don't even understand this. Take it. It's very particular to the artist. So whatever y'all do, everyone's in a different place. I know Tep knows. I know Tep knows the language that I'm speaking. And so everyone that comes on this, I'm not just like speaking gibberish to everybody. It's very, very specific to who's submitting, what they know, the position that they're in, the thing that they're targeting, so on and so on. So I'm just gonna just spew BS at everyone and be like, I don't know what he's saying, because that's not helpful. I only try to do what I think would be helpful for the person that we're talking to. Anyways, okay, let me get out of this fab filter real quick. I'm from Texas. All right, let me get out of this real quick. Boom, boom. If y'all want to submit, it's at the link in my bio. Okay, let's hold on. All right, let's get back into it. So -2 bell curve at 250. Yeah, try that ish. Move it around a little bit. Try a little bit lower. If it thins it out too much, come up a little bit higher. Play around with it a little bit. I think it'll clarify the vocal. It might even clarify it in a way where you need to push the vocal forward because there's a decent amount of mud there. It might even control it so much that you need to go louder on the whole vocal by 2 dB-ish. Play around with it. But that to me is one of the main pain points. And it's not much. It's not much at all. Love the bass on this too. That's beautiful. I feel like that's one of the comments I feel like I make. I don't make too many corrective comments on your, like, most of your music and your production structure. Pretty straightforward. We're with Tep's music, we're very much talking about like nuances, like tiny little things. One of the more consistent ones is low mid mud in your vocal. I don't know if it's like the RE20 sometimes, or if it's something that, or maybe closer proximity with the C800 or something like that. But it might even just be the dynamic microphone if that's what you're using most of the time, or closer proximity on the C800. So on and so on. So it depends on what I obviously know a lot more about some of your chain and stuff like that. or is my voice? I mean, but your voice is in the context of its capture, like in its capturing mechanism. So like I can sometimes have like a kind of boomier, lower voice sometimes. And this is a very like mellow, this is like a darker tube microphone. It's a little bit more mellow, a little bit more flat. And so I just have to be really strategic, right? I have to be strategic with where I curve. So I'm doing the same thing that I'm telling you to do. So on this particular mic in my chain, I have this running into a 1073, and then the 1073, I actually don't even know if I have the EQ on the 1073 right now. I just have the preamp going. But in the box, I then have an EQ, and I'm controlling that low mud. I'm controlling that low mud a little bit and just giving it a small scoop between 100 and 300 hertz, a little bit of lift at the top, so on and so on. So like, I think even that, yeah. And so like, I think you could do something similar. If you feel like your voice is a little boomier, so much of that just has to do with your proximity to the source, right? Your proximity to the microphone, that and or how it's being processed, right? Like whether I'm like, I don't have it with me. I think it's in the other room, but like if I'm using like this or the TLM 102 or the SM7B that I have, like no matter what I'm using, like whether I'm using like this tube microphone, a TLM 102, an SM7B, my approach to the preamp and my approach to how I process is different for every single one. I know you like to 100% Seneca, 100%. Your approach to what you use is going to be different, right? For different things. So like, I know you like to jump between, like I know you have the C800G, and that's a very bright microphone. I know you have a bunch of other mics. I know you have I think an SM7B. I know you have an RE20. And so you're using a lot of different stuff. And so what you probably want to do is set up like a really specific chain that is like perfect for that, right? You're going to get probably a little bit more low end mud out of the RE20 or one of your like darker, more mellow dynamic microphones than you are out of like the C800G or a 251 or something like that, which is going to be airier, brighter, saturated, right? And so I think for you, I think I would just really set up, because I think most of the time, I like you with the RE20. I think it works well for you to execute your scratch tracks really quickly. Obviously, you know that. And I think for you like things that you can flip on quickly. You know what I mean? Like you like things where you're like, I can pop into the studio, flip everything on, and I'm ready to go. I don't have to wait. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I don't have to wait, 45 minutes to like warm up. I did just fix it now. I don't have to wait 40 minutes for like my tube microphone to warm up and preamps to warm up and stuff like that. I can just like get in the studio and make some BS, right? And so if that's the case, then set a really distinct chain to fix some of that mud right there. And I think you'll be in a good spot. Yeah, link in my bio if you want to submit. Let's keep it rolling. Because that's one of the only things here. I mean, a lot of the texture and the atmosphere that we get here, I think is great, man. I think you're doing a great job. It marries well with the vocal samples that you have. Mix on the production is fine. And for me, that's a lot of what we're looking at here. For me, a lot of it has to do with vocal chain. Any advice how to get that shoegaze sound? Main sound I'm trying to get is similar to MBB. I mean, so much of the shoegaze sound is pacing of production as well as processing. Modulated reverb is going to be your best friend. You're looking for that soft focus reverb. So if you're working in shoegaze and you're working at like slower BPMs, saturated percussion structure. So when you're tracking your drums, if you're using live drums or VSTs, send them to a bus, place them in a room with a lot of space, saturate that with like a tape saturator. Decapitator is great for stuff like this. Decimort 2 is great for stuff like this. Nice, heavy, saturated, vibrant drum structure is so important to really crush that signal, especially on the bus. That's going to be really important. And then when it comes to like layering a lot of what you're doing, vocally speaking, and your guitars and your double tracks and stuff like that, modulated reverb is going to be the name of the game. So if you're looking for that washy space where things just move and flow and really wrap around you, get a good reverb on there, get some modulation on that reverb. Soft focus is great. Like that's the classic sound of like the Yamaha FX500 that was like classic in the late 80s, early 90s. That soft focus preset, they've built hundreds of other like guitar pedals have built it based off of that preset, off that unit. It's a half rack unit from like I think early 90s or something like that. That sound is what you're looking for. So look up soft focus. If you want to know like how do I get that sound? There's a ton of videos on this. Honestly, if you're in the shoegaze space or kind of like, alternative rock and stuff like that. If you're in the shoegaze, if you like mid 90s shoegaze and stuff like that, look up the soft focus preset on the Yamaha FX500. That is like the sound of shoegaze. And that's the sound that everyone goes for. And then you can look up on YouTube how to create that sound in your DAW. Because there's a ton of people that are like, I'm not going to like order. I got you, Tep. I got you. I'm not going to like order an FX 500 from Japan to like try to get one in here and like whatever, to kind of, get that sound from the actual preset. A lot of those old units are like broken and burned out. I've wanted to get one for a while. I almost pulled the trigger on one about a week ago. But there's a ton of like tutorials on YouTube on how to like get the soft focus preset in Ableton using plugins, using stock stuff, using, other guitar pedals and stuff like that. So there's a lot of options. And so you should be able to find that sound pretty easily, but that's one of the like staple sounds of shoegaze. That reverb on guitar, on even like background vocals and stuff like that is really cool. But space to me is one of the most like should be one of your like creating space, and how you optimize that space is probably one of the most important things you can do in kind of working within that genre. Okay, let me double check this one from Tep really quick to kind of see where it's at. Got you, Spides. I appreciate you so much, man. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Dude, already. Dude. Already. Come on. Dude, night and day. I mean, to me, maybe this sounds the exact same thing to everyone else. So much better. 100% prefer. 100%. I think now we pulled a. Did you boost it all? Did you boost it all? I want to go back. Did I already finish the other one? I already think I. Okay, go. Yeah, you can submit as many as you want. You can only submit 2 free songs, but you can in the top and the consultation link, you can submit however many you want. I would, now that we've pulled some energy right there. I did. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. You put it a little bit louder. Give it another like 2 dB and your set. Put in another 2 dB on just loudness. Just fade her up 2 dB. I think you're set, man. Dude, that's so much cleaner. That's so much, dude. It just opens up like crazy. Opens up like crazy. Because I want to get da, 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 da. I want to hear more of like those. I want to hear a little bit more out of that. I want to feel that double a little bit more. Yeah, dude, that's so much better. That's crazy. It's one little swipe on the EQ, one little bell curve, dude. That's so much better. That's so much better. 2 dB of loudness, 2 dB of loudness overall, dude. You're ready. Yeah, I hear the words better. There's better clarity. I'm not getting, because what's happening is like that mud is then being doubled with your doubler, right? So like the mud is being doubled, and then you have this like tight plate reverb or room reverb or something like that. And it's also being reflected in the room. So you just have this like reflection of that low end energy. Now that that's carved out, all of the extensions of it, like the peripheral of that mud is no longer there either. It's like a domino effect of like clarity. Yeah, dude. Oh, so much better. Now I'm hyped, dude. Now I'm hyped. Yeah. Better clarity, push it forward 2 dB, 3 dB. See what feels right when you kind of finalize the mix, dude. You're ready to go. You could probably push the solo louder too if you want to. It's a good moment. Everything's really stable. That solo's a good slice up in the mix that kind of opens things up a little bit more. It could be nice to bring that forward just a hair. The same thing, 2 dB. You're right there though, man. This is a 10-minute revision away from being ready to go. Everything else is really nice. Killer, man. Awesome. Y'all show some love to the family. Tepno. Yeah, Tepno, you're right there, man. Literally a 10-minute revision. You already handled half the revision during the live stream and submitted it. Yeah, you're 10 minutes away from this being like ready to go. Now it's being submitted. They can update what they're pitching. Dude, of course, man. Anytime. Easy. They can just update what they're pitching too. So it has a little bit better clarity so that vocal's a little bit more distinct. That's like so easy if they're sending it out to people. Dude, you're awesome, man. You know I love you. I love what you do, man. Y'all please show some love to Tep. Follow along on his journey, man. He's been doing it for a while. He knows what's going on in the game, so definitely show him some love, man. Show him some support. Love what you do, man. Let's keep it rolling. We got Pack This in the building. Pack This, hop in the chat. Pack this, hop in the chat. That's the family right there, man. That's the family. Shout out to Tepno. Always showing love, man. Always showing support. I appreciate you so much, man. Pack this. Let me know if you are in the chat. Let's go, Pack this. This is Crescendo. Is it Crescendo? Tyson, thank you so much for the follow. Is it Crescendo or Crescendo? Is it like a play? Just so I know. Wayne, thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate y'all. But let's get it. This is Pack This. This is Pack This right here. Welcome, and y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate y'all joining. But let's get it. Yeah, give me some details. This is out on all platforms. This was all recorded by our guitarist in his room. We have since got a band and a new singer. Okay, so what I'm hearing is Crescendo. Okay. So what I'm hearing is an older could be relative, right? But an older track with not the current musicians and singer, right? But just kind of gives you an idea of what y'all are doing. Is that, do I kind of have that loosely correct at least? Let's pull it up on Spotify. Let's get into it. Yeah, give me all the details. Talk to me about the role that you play in the music. Talk to me about the role that you play in the band, so on and so on. And let's dive in. So, and let me know, of course, like what you do in the band, the person that I'm interacting here. But this is Crescendo by Pack This. Let's get it. Nice.
You got your dreams and aspirations, little goals and expectations, so many things you want to do. Throw at the old, embrace the new. Love to
DX7.
have a way of making every single day. Feel like
I feel that.
building up to everything going my way.
That's that guy. One of my favorite synths. I love that thing.
Instead, I'm tired of being this town. Sleeping streets and quiet sounds.
That's cool, Jakey.
There ain't much to do around.
There is. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. A lot of fusion.
When life just doesn't seem to go. Maybe it's why you're feeling low. When it's only ever just so. Waiting for time to let you know. I don't really want that much. No more than any other. Just a person.
Come on, bass.
To have to hold, be a lover. There's places I would like to see in distant foreign lands. Music I want to play in idyllic bands.
Six string? Are you playing the six string?
Instead of always feeling down.
Sleek. It doesn't make a difference. It's crazy. Thank you for the roses, y'all. I appreciate it.
Makes me proud.
Yeah, link in my bio if you want to submit.
When life just doesn't seem to go.
This is for your music. Let's talk about your music.
Maybe it's why you're feeling low. When it's only ever just so.
Y'all know what popular music is. Come on. Come on. Ooh.
Go out there and make your sound. Your words don't help, though they're most profound.
The chord progressions are super interesting.
Like how I already understand.
What's up, Rod? Welcome in.
I want a helping hand. All too well I know I see. I am my own worst enemy. I wish I could be living now.
Do y'all perform live?
Instead of always looking on.
I know I think you said you were trying to find some places you could get in, right?
Make it work before I'm gone.
I'm talking about Pack This. Talking about Pack This, the one playing. Hell yeah. Come on. The dynamic changes are crazy. Super heavy to like jazz fusion to like. Are YouTube? When y'all, my question is, when you perform live, are y'all using any background tracks or click tracks or anything like that? Or is it pretty much freestyle drum and bass on the go? Y'all show some love, show some love, show some love. That is Pack This Crescendo. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. That's what I'm curious about is when y'all are performing live, are you using any background tracks or click tracks or anything like that? Or is it pretty open? Let's run it from the top, man. Let's get into it, man. Obviously, y'all are doing something really interesting, right? There's a lot of fusion here. There's a lot of like genre hybridizing that's going on that is creating a lot of twists and turns in here that are really engaging to listen to to listen to. We got our keyboard player up to speed after like a year. Then he quit. Damn. So now we use backing tracks click for the drummer. Okay, so here's my recommendation. This is actually my recommendation for any band out there that has released studio records and is performing those records to some extent live, right? Even this is kind of a crazy track. This might not be the easiest one just because of all the transitions, but I would. When you do a show, when you do a show, like you said, it's hard to get in. It's hard to get on a bill. It's hard to get into venues sometimes now and just get yourself out there. Anytime that you do, and this will get you more bills. This will get you on into more venues as well. Anytime that you do, have someone, a friend of y'all, someone, I don't know, a spouse of someone in the band, I don't care, someone close, maybe even a couple people to record the entire set on whoever has the newest iPhone or who has the newest phone with a decent camera, have them record the entire show vertically in like log or 4K, like the highest quality you can, right? Have it either recorded straight into, so sometimes like when I'm recording stuff, I'll have this going just straight, and this is just like a 15, it's not even new. But I'll have it recording straight from USB-C into a hard drive, so I don't have to worry about storage. I can just drop it into 2 terabytes, and I don't even have to worry about it, so I can record 4K and not have to worry about storage as much. Have them record the whole thing. And like from start to finish, so you're walking back and forth at the front of the stage or wherever, record the entire thing because y'all are doing it to a click track. So it is technically, at least portions of the song are synced to what you originally do on the record. And then when you're posting content, you can put it in cinematic mode and edit it and color grade it and put it in log if you need to add some LUTs to it. You can do some interesting stuff to make it look better, make it look more professional or whatever. It doesn't even matter. Get some decent content of it. Record the whole entire set. You do an hour set or 45-minute set. You get the entire thing on video, start to finish. And then, since it's all synced, sync it to your released studio audio. You know what I mean? So once you record this song, you're playing, what is it called? Crescendo. You're playing this live, you record the whole entire thing, and then you sync it to the studio album because you're playing with a click track, you're playing with backgrounds, right? So what people see will actually match what is being played on the record. Do this for the entire show. You do one show. You don't even have to be on bills all the time. You do one show and you have like 3 months of footage of content of people seeing your charisma, your musicianship, what y'all do live. They're seeing the lights. They're seeing you on stage. They're seeing your attitudes. You're seeing all this stuff, right? And they're hearing a polished professional studio record, right? They're getting both of those things. And it's going to allow people to connect really, really closely with your music, right? As opposed to like if you recorded a show and it's just like shitty, like mains audio, right? Like they're just hearing like noise and like that someone's singing off key right next to you or whatever. It's like, it doesn't really sound good. But if you can get this is a decent camera. I'm not saying it's like a cinema camera, but like you put an iPhone 15 or newer or something close to that, a Galaxy, whatever, fairly new one, put it in like a cinema mode, put it in where it's recording in log and then color grade it later and have it dumped straight to a hard drive with USB-C or something like that. You can get pretty damn good video. You know what I mean? I get pretty good stuff. And then sync it to the original audio. Just make sure it's actually synced or it's going to look weird. Get it synced to the original audio for all of your songs and then chop that up a million times in a bunch of different parts and then post a piece of that content every other day for the next 3 months and you just blasted your social media. You'll get way more monthly listeners. I mean, y'all have really good quality music here. Obviously, your music is quirky and that's going to be one of the pain points, right? Is finding who wants to listen to what you're doing is going to take people seeing what you do. That's kind of my point in this whole thing is the metal listener is like, ooh, there's a heavy breakdown, and they might find that portion of the song, but it's gonna take your performing and people seeing you do what you do to be like, I want to be a part of what this band is doing, because there's some 80s rock and roll in the background there. There's some little pockets over here. But if you just post on social media and you just blast one show for the next 3 months, the good thing with social media is if you post every day, it recycles after a year. Dude, 100%. You can. That's what I'm saying is like you record one show and you post 15-second snippets at a time constantly on social media. Dude, like we already have some footage, so we'll do, dude, run with it. But the biggest thing is muting the real audio, syncing it to the studio audio, make sure that it matches. Even like so like I use Final Cut or CapCut Premium. Either one of those, you can literally just tell it to sync audio. So you can like upload the audio of the song and upload the video and like closely align it, and then select both of them. And then there's a tool that says like sync video and audio, and it'll just drop it together, dude. It's so easy. It's so easy. So all of this to say is like you have 9 monthly listeners, and y'all are pretty talented, man. Like, I mean, y'all are obviously great musicians, and I want you to get more. I want you to squeeze more out of what you're doing. So find some tools, find replicable content. And you know what could potentially happen is you do this with one show, you already have some footage, you sync it to the synced audio, you get all that done, you're like, I don't even care if this is high effort or not, someone can take over this. That we're going to blast this to social media. It's going to be on YouTube Shorts. It's going to be on Instagram and Facebook Reels. It's going to be on TikTok. This content is going to be automated out there every single day for like the next 2 months that we have this footage. Hopefully in the next 2 months, you get another show. And what do you do in the next show when you have a new single and a new song out with new synced audio? You do the same thing again, and you just blast it out there. You have never ending content. Bands have never ending content. Like a lot of artists don't perform anymore, which is, it's a shame in some senses. And also some people just don't want to. And so there's a lot of people that like that's more challenging to get content for, because you're not doing anything. You just sit in your bedroom and rap like once every couple months, and you're like, well, now I got to create like skits for this or something. It's harder. But when you're a band and you're working with people, you're collaborating, you're in the studio tracking stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can, it's doable to have never ending content. Yeah, you can make it happen, dude. You can be really lazy with content and it still work. That's true. Barely here. Good to see you. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for tapping in. If you want to submit, it's not in the chat. You'll actually type !submit on Twitch and it will pop up for you. And that's the link to submit right there. Okay, let's go through a couple moments of the song. But yeah, my biggest thing is like I want you to get a little bit more out of what you're doing, because you're obviously talented, but the route to finding your fans, to get these monthlies higher, to get more gigs, get on more bills, get in more venues, get more monthly listeners, get more exposure for what y'all are doing creatively, I think is going to take y'all really honing in on how people find y'all, right? And like what you're actually showcasing to people. Because it's definitely not just going to be, and this is for most people, this is not just you, it's definitely not going to just be like, hey, listen to Pack this brand new single out. You know what I mean? Like, I got a new song out. Go check it out. I promise we're dope. Like, it doesn't work for anybody, much less a very like niche genre, right? Where you're very specific with the way that you're producing. You know what I mean? Okay, let's get into it. I like a lot of what y'all are doing, though. Obviously, great musicians. Is that a cowbell in the background, or is that a delay from something else? Link in my bio if you want to submit.
You've got your dreams and aspirations, little goals and expectations, so many things you want to do. Throw out the old, embrace the new. Love just seems to have a way of making every single day feel like it's building up to everything.
Is it like a sub 37? What's up, Xano? Welcome in. I appreciate you tapping in on Twitch as well. Is it like a sub 37 or like a 27 or something like that in the background right there? The bass movements are great too. I know some of it is actually the bass lines. I hear the slap later on as well when you're rolled in. Yeah, I mean, once you get into the song, man, there's a lot of really interesting nuances to the production. Some that are obviously intentionally, I'll say chaotic, not specifically as a negative. I just mean chaotic in the sense that there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of changes of focus. And that's why I think that you need to show people what you do, because this is like I mentioned before, I don't mean to harp on this, that if you're just like, here, come listen to this, you just blast this to the world of just like, hey, here's a song, I think people might not get it, and I want them to get it. And what I think they're going to no, dude, I love it. So like, as I'm a multi-musician, I've been playing drums since I was 4 years old, classically trained pianist since I was 6. I've been playing guitar since I was 8 years old. Like I do session work for a living, so it's like, or partially session work for a living with a bunch of other music stuff, production, mixing, whatever. But like I do stuff like that, so I get it. Like I'm hearing the musicianship. I'm like, I love what's happening here. I love the nuances. I love the changes. I love the weird, quirky things that are happening. I'm a fan. I'm like, oh, here's a key change, here's a modulation, here's a chromatic movement, here's like all this stuff. I'm like, this is interesting. Like these are weird pushes that I think are engaging to listen to. And so that's why my focus is so much more on like, I want people to appreciate it. And I think people appreciate this stuff live more than they just do on the song. And the translation from live to the song is more connected, right? So like, you're more likely to appreciate this on Spotify if you've seen it live. Like if you like jazz, you like fusion, you like, like fusion rock stuff, and like you're used to hearing this different stuff, then you're more likely to want to have it on your playlist and like have it on in the background when you're working or when you're on a drive on the way to work or whatever it may be, right? But if you don't have a grid for this, if you don't have a grid for this, exactly. Jazzy stuff, fusion stuff can be jazz gods. It's crazy. The bright yellow letters do not work, no matter what. No matter what. I assure you, half the songs in the queue are probably popular artists somehow. Anyways, it is a harder sell. It is a harder sell because you're relying on something that is so. The song is more for the thinkers and the feelers. And I'm like, yeah, 100%, right? And so. But I want to, where you are engaging people with this is two areas. It's social media and live shows, right? So when you get a chance to do the live shows, of course, I hope everyone loves it and they go stream more of your music and they engage with you and they buy your merch and they do all this stuff, right? I hope they do all of that. We also need to translate that to people to, follow you on social media. We need to translate that to them, actually going and streaming the rest of your catalog and stuff like that as well. So that's why I'm like, okay, this is harder to palette just finding it randomly, right? Just when you're my 1238th swipe of the day on TikTok, right? Like if you are just happen to be the next thing that pops up, how likely am I to just engage with whatever I haven't seen your page, but like whatever you might happen to have been posting, that is just, telling people where they can find you or whatever it may be. I don't know yet, right? But just kind of letting people know. Even if I have no grid for this kind of music, what I will be much more likely to engage with is if there's a video of someone with like an iPhone on stage with you, like running around, and then like all of a sudden it's the synth solo time and someone runs over in cinema mode to the synth player and they're going crazy and they're doing these crazy stuff. And then you go over, it's a drum solo, and you switch over to this time, it's a guitar solo, and someone just pulls up with the iPhone right next to the guitar and they're shredding it. That's way more engaged. That now I have like a grid of like, oh, this is just crazy musicians doing crazy musical stuff. I might follow along for that journey. Right now, I'm a musician, so I'm a fan of all the things that are happening and understand more of the practicality behind what's going on. So I would follow regardless. But if you're trying to get new fans of just what you're doing, more people that will potentially go to shows and engage with what you're doing, live is the format, which is why I think you need to portray live in your content. I'm just saying the same thing 15 times. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think you need to bring live to your content because that's the only content, or that's one of the main contexts that your music makes sense to people. Otherwise, it will just sound like noise to people because they don't get it. They don't understand. They don't understand what's going on. I get it, and I love what y'all are doing, but we gotta bridge that gap. Content's gonna be the way that you do that.
Going my way. I wish I could be.
Of course, man. Of course. What do you mean, Bailey here? I wish I was right. Right about what?
Well, life just doesn't seem to go. Maybe it's why you're feeling low.
Yeah, gotta stand out. Gotta stand out.
When it's only ever just so. Waiting for time to let you know. I don't really want that much. No more than any other.
I mean, showing your tracking process. I mean, as you know, doing the bass and the slaps and the lifts and stuff like that. Like, show what y'all are doing. Again, the more that you can make what you do real to people, the better. The better. Because I mean, again, obviously, I don't need to critique the musicality. Y'all are great musicians. You obviously know what y'all are doing. Y'all are tight as a band as well. You know what I mean? Like y'all are doing it. Which was right. I'm all alone there, bro. There's no cornerstone, so there is no bridge. We're all lost. Barely here. Wait, barely here. What are you talking? Sorry, I think I'm missing something. I'm missing. There's no cornerstone, so there's no bridge. We're all lost. What do you lost in what? I want to know what you're talking about. I want to know what you're talking about. Are we just in our fields? I want to know. I want to know.
To live a life that makes me proud. When life just doesn't seem to go. Maybe yourself. Your words don't help, though they're most profound. But on my back is a black hole.
I can't connect with you. I'm lost in oblivion. What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, it's I mean, pack this. It's like funny, right? But it's also like, I don't know. Yeah, you can barely hear. I don't know what's going on, but it's kind of funny. Yeah, I'm like, man, they're deep in their feels tonight. Deep in their feels on a Thursday night. Okay. I mean, it's kind of funny. Pack. Like, but at the same time, you do have to cut through the noise. I think your music, I appreciate it. I think the music cuts. I think the music is weird and quirky and interesting, and I love that. But I think the more visually you can cut through the noise, the better. The more you can cut through the noise, the better. Just try it, dude. Your success is on the other side of you feeling cringe. I can promise you that. And that's everyone here. I don't care if you're like a hardcore rapper or or you make metal music or you're like a quirky pop artist. Like your success is very, very likely on the other side of you feeling cringe and you feeling like you're stepping outside of your box. And so I would be very, very curious to see what happens if you do just like, hey, dude, let's just do this thing. Let's just do it. You know what I mean? What software do you use for making beats and music? I use Pro Tools. I've used kind of all the DAWs at different times: Ableton, FL Studio, Logic, Studio One, so on and so on. But I've used Pro Tools for the last like 18 years, 19 years, and I love it. I produce on it, I mix on it, I master on it, and I use it all the time. Even though I still have FL Studio, I still, have and use other stuff every once in a while, but 99% of the time I just do everything in Pro Tools. I can see it take out with the quirky, dude, 100%. Because keep in mind, like the music's quirky, right? Like the music is interesting and weird. So if you're like too polished, you know what I mean? Like if you're too like polished in your image and we're like, no, we're a serious band who does serious stuff, then there might be a little bit of a disconnect with like the quirkiness of your music as well. So I feel like, man, like I think if you just really lean in and you're just like, you know what, let's do some weird stuff. Let's do some interesting stuff and just see what happens and do it at scale. You can't try it once and be like, oh, it didn't work, we failed, and then shrink back into your comfort zone. I think like try something for a month. You know what I mean? Do some weird stuff for a month. Do some weird shit for a month, see what happens, and then you can gauge. You're like, hey, we went from 9 monthly listeners to like 400. That kind of worked. Let's lean into it. Let's not really give, let's not give a fuck what people think, and let's just try some random stuff. And then maybe from 400 goes to 3,000. You're like, oh man, things are happening. You know what I mean? Thank you for the follows, then. I appreciate it. I must know basic music to make a song. Not necessarily. I mean, basics of music, you'd have to describe what that is. You never know paying it to you. I have used GarageBand. In fact, I've made a couple like samples in GarageBand that made it into some other songs. GarageBand is actually a pretty decent DAW. There's a decent amount of stuff that you can do there. Routing is a difficult issue and stuff like that, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with GarageBand. I've known some people that make some great stuff on GarageBand. What's up, Caleb? Good to see you, man. Yeah, and then if you outgrow it, then literally spend $200 for life. Spend $200 for life and go to Logic, and Logic is just GarageBand on steroids. It's like GarageBand with extra plugins, and better routing capabilities and stuff like that. But they're like, yeah, like if you ever make it out of it, then boom, you just go crazy. FL Studio good for making a song? Yeah, it is if you're good at making a song on FL Studio. That's like what it's about, right? The DAWs are the DAW. The DAWs have different tools, different stock plugins that are biased towards different things. Like FL Studio and Ableton have the most intuitive structures for like creating beats and sample chopping and signal manipulation and stuff like that. And, Pro Tools and Studio One and Logic have better tools for vocal comping and live instrumentation routing and stuff like that. So like, it really just matters. So it's not like, is FL Studio good for making a song? If you are bad at making a song, you'll be bad at making a song in any DAW that you use. If you're good at making a song, then you can figure that out and figure out the language of any DAW, right? I figured out Pro Tools when I was 12 years old. Before I was using Pro Tools at 12 years old, I was recording on floppy disks on my old Clavinova Yamaha piano. And that's how I learned to produce when I was like 10, 11, and then into 12 years old. So like, it's just like if you can figure it out and if you just like learn the language around the DAW, you can use absolutely anything. There's someone out there with a Grammy and a platinum and a chart over here and all this stuff on every single DAW that you can think of. So don't worry about the DAW. Find one with a user interface that makes sense for you, with a compute that pairs with a tool that works well for you, and then just run with it. Just stick with it for a while. You know what I mean? Learn the language. Okay, let's get into the outro here real quick. Yeah, there are talk. Everything has a fucking AI tool now. Do I have a tutorial for making it? Not specifically just like that, but I will be posting a lot more. I've been in the process of redoing my studio, so it has been a challenge to like make more content in YouTube and stuff like that. But I have some like basic stuff on YouTube, but nothing too crazy. I want to do a lot more. I want to do a lot more in the near future. Let's go, man. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Crescendo by Pack This, man. Give it up. Give it up. Obviously, fantastic musicians. Fantastic musicians, man. And in a well-balanced mix overall as well. Like, y'all know what you're doing. This is why I'm like, I want y'all to find the right people. Because that's what this is all going to come down to, is the right people finding and hearing your music. And then from there, it's just leaning in and feeding that core group. You know what I mean? Feeding that core group good, consistent music, so on and so on. But man, y'all please show some love. I love listening to that, man. Great musicianship across the board. Pack This, Crescendo. Show them some love and support, man. Watch this space. You heard him. Barely Here's in the building. What's up, Barely? That destroyed the song's whole lifelong. I submitted music that destroys this Trump's whole lifelong ideology. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what my lifelong ideology is. Can we use AI for inspiration, or must be original for me? That's up to you. That is a personal choice to make. I don't like AI. I don't use it. I don't ever plan on using it. That's a choice for you to make. I don't necessarily I'm not like here to trash people that do for any specific reason. That's not something that I'm interested in. People send in AI if that's what you're asking. People do send in AI. My goal is to be as valuable as possible. You know what I mean? Like that's my goal. So like, I like breaking down production. I like talking about the things that we're talking about, breaking down all of these different elements of like mix and production and sound design and stuff like that. So like, anyways, that's up for you to kind of decide. Hey, bless up, man. Appreciate you so much. Thanks for tapping in. Let's keep it going. We got Sebi in the building. Sebi, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. You can always use other Usher inspiration. AI is necessary. I mean, it is. It's completely unnecessary. We were all perfectly fine before it existed. The only thing that it offered people was people that didn't have the opportunity, that kind of wanted to know what it was like to have a song there appear in front of them. It gave them the ability to do that, but those people were not going to be making music otherwise. That's the thing, is I don't even necessarily gripe them for it, because those people were not going to be hiring musicians regardless. The people that are just blasting up a song with a simple prompt, those people that are really, really tight, right? Doing that, those people were never going to be paying for studio time. So we're not even operating in the same space. Let's get it, Sebi. Let's get it. Is there any way to pay a skip a view? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what half the people that are here are doing. They were waiting and it was taking forever, so they're skipping to go out of it. So yeah, you can just, if you click on your song, you can just add whatever tier you want to try to skip past people or move past people. So yeah, you can do that at any point. That's why people kind of keep getting pushed back and stuff like that. Sebi, let's get it. This is the intro to my upcoming album. The vision was for something powerful, but also mellow with a clear direction. I'm really happy with the finished product. Would love to hear your thoughts. Let's get into it. Sebi, let the people, obviously I know what you do to an extent, but let the people know. And of course you can remind me on any changes maybe that you have, but let the people know the role that you play in your music, what we're hearing, and kind of the role that you have in it. And let's get it, man. Let's get it. And then, yeah, keep in mind, Fool Boy, if you do submit in the free line and you skip to the consultation line, you are going from the 2-minute spin to a 20 to 30 minute breakdown. So you're going to a whole different level, whole different tier there. Okay, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. I like that already. I like that bass. Great sound design.
Are we so different? You and me, meant to be underneath the moonlight. Nothing else in between.
Oh no, you can just do it from the same song.
And when I place my hand in yours, there is nothing more that I want.
You should just be able to go from that track and skip it up.
And when I feel your warmth, it's like the stars above. They fall.
Let's see if I can show you.
One by one. I don't wanna wait until the sun rises to give you my heart. I don't wanna wait till the morning comes to tell you that I love you. I don't wanna wait another minute longer. I've waited my whole life. That look in your eyes got me faded. I don't know why. And when I place my hand in yours, there is nothing more that I want. Just your love. And when I feel your warmth, it's like the stars above. They fall one by one. I don't wanna wait until the sun rises to give you
Yeah.
my heart. I don't wanna wait till the morning comes to tell you that I love you.
That falsetto's killer.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna wait to give you my heart. I don't wanna wait. I love
Insane. Such a good intro to an album. Such a good intro. The sound design's beautiful. Man, y'all show some love. Show some love. That is Sebi Music right here. G, welcome in. Good to see you. Sebi Music right here on TikTok. Amazing job. Man, sound design on this is so vibrant. It's so full. Absolutely love your synthesis, man. Great automation. Great vocal texture. It's beautiful, man. It's so well done. Please do not spam the chat. If you spam the chat, you will get muted. If you want to submit your music, it's at the link in my bio. We will be closing up the line here in just a little bit as well, though. I'm going to go. That's crazy. That's absolutely unhinged. That's unhinged. That's crazy. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. Let's dive into it. And then, if you want to skip it, just go find your song in the queue. So when you go and you see the queue, you can see where there's the regulars and there's the consultation skips. Just go find your song, and I think if you click on it, I'm on the host side, so I don't know exactly what it looks like on the other side. But I think if it's your song, you can click on it and choose to add to it or skip to it or add a tier to it or something like that. And it should allow you to skip forward in the line from there. However far up you want to go. But man, y'all show some love to Sebi. Sebi, this is powerful, man. Powerful. Okay, let me know really quick. because this sounds final and it sounds really, really nice. Is this already? Yeah, of course. Is this already in distribution? Is this already out? Is it already? Or I mean, I know you're working on this upcoming album, but is this in distribution yet, or are you still kind of working through a couple things? And then I will probably close the line here in just a little bit, y'all. Maybe after this song. Hey, thank you so much, Alex. It's good to see you. I appreciate you tapping in, man. It's not set for distribution yet. Finishing some other songs. Okay, cool. Honestly, I love like everything that I'm hearing. I love the dynamics. I love your voice on this, man. Man, your voice sounds so good on the song. Your voice, that falsetto is butter. It is so good. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's fantastic. It's like a miracle hook. So good. This one is final, but I'm so down to get back into it. I don't really think you need to tear too deep back into it. There's a one moment. This, you know how I am. I'm annoying. There's one moment where there's a shift and a delayed hit. I want that to be stronger, so I want to like automate a little bit drier there for a second and then come back in. We'll talk about it when we get there. But it's a very, very subtle switch here. I know, unnecessary for the most part, but dude, you're crushing it. It's so good. Let's run it from the top. Let's get into it. And then after the song, I'm going to close up. In fact, I'll probably once, if Fool Boy does anything, let me know if you're going to, I'll close up the line after that. Just cause I gotta get out of here in a bit. This is killer, man. It's so good. It feels granular. It's a great album intro too. Just strategically, it's a great album intro. I love it. I love it so much, man.
Are we so different? You and me, meant to be underneath the moonlight.
So good.
Nothing else in between. And when I place my hand in yours, there is nothing more that I want. Just your love.
Some melodies are beautiful. I mean, man, I'm kind of just letting this play through. This is, I mean, I really don't think you need to change much of anything of this. I mean, it's so smooth. It's so good. The like lightness of your vocal in this mix is so tasteful. Those little movements right there are like so smooth, man. This is so good.
When I feel your warmth, it's like the stars above. They fall one by
Crazy.
one. I don't wanna wait until the sun rises to give you my heart. I don't wanna wait till the morning comes.
That melody is just chef's kiss, man. It's so good. So good, so good.
I don't wanna wait another minute longer. I've waited my whole life.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I love it. I mean, I've obviously heard a couple tracks, and this might be one of my favorite tracks that I've heard from you. It's like emotional, it's engaging, it's incredibly dynamic. Yeah, dude, this is cool. I mean, of course, I love the texture. I love the synthesis. That's my world. I love that stuff so much. But yeah, just the textures of this, man, the movement in here, I think is so well done. This mix feels incredibly wide and incredibly just ethereal, man. It's so good. By popular, we're talking about globally, the West, just not your music. We're talking about your music. So this is not about, it's not about just like artists that are well known in any sense. This is about music that you've worked on. Great harmonies. What's up, Alan? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
I don't know why.
Closing the line after this song, y'all.
There is nothing more that I want. Just your love. And when I feel your warmth, it's like the stars above. They fall one by one. I don't wanna wait until the sun rises to give you.
Okay, I think it's coming up here.
My heart. I don't wanna wait till the morning comes to tell you that I love you. I don't wanna.
I think it's after this section, maybe. There's like beautiful little synth runs in the background. There's like little harmonies in the background there that are beautiful, beautiful. They're so subtle, but they're really, really nice. Kind of like pentatonic synth movements down there. Dude, it's so nice. I mean, I love it. I love it. Yeah. This is over in all the best ways. This is overproduced, man. It's great. It's great. So kind of up here. Okay, so like here, this little break right here. So you start going into your ad libs, the energy just goes crazy. In my mind, this could not be the vision at all, and you can completely ignore this. But in my mind, I wanted hard, shoom, bah, like I want like a big delayed hit that happens where we like reverse in, drop, dry, and then hard crash into a delayed hit, like right in here. Bomb. You know what I mean? Like, and then it hits really, really hard right there. There's like the makings of a delayed hit right there, but it all kind of blends together, right? Like, because nothing quite dries out, so it washes into the next and it resolves into the next right there. So we never quite get it. I would love for it to like dry up nearly. There's going to be some residue right there. There's going to be some extra things that are still in there. But I think, yeah, the ad lib, and you could probably even keep the ad lib if we dry up a couple of these synth reverbs and stuff like that in the background. Like maybe cut the bass, dry up some of the reverbs, like just automation, right? Just a couple different automation lanes to cut decay, and like cut the reverbs right there. So it's just, I don't wanna wait. And it's just that high vocal right there, almost dry, and then shkoom, like a little reverse reverb or like reverse snare, reverse kick, boom, into the big hit right there. That's like the only thing where I'm like, there's the makings of a change in dynamic right there, but it like doesn't quite do it. And my brain, I think just as a producer, in my brain, I'm like, I feel like we could get another 5% out of the climax of this song right here and just crush it. Just thought I'd ask you, offer mixing mastering. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a huge portion of what I do for a living. But yeah. Reach out anytime, man. Reach out anytime if I don't really promote it on here because obviously a lot of what I'm doing is like trying to get y'all more autonomy over y'all sound and stuff like that. But if you ever want to work, I work full time, mixing and mastering, full production packages, as well as a big chunk of what I do is session work. So people hire me to just play synths on their track, play, keys, electric, acoustic, bass guitars, live drums, vocals, stuff like that. So if y'all ever need session work, you ever need mixing, mastering, that's what I do for a living. Okay, let's back it up. So here. Right there. We dry that up right there. Yeah, dude, I got you. Yeah, 100%. Shoot me a message. Shoot me a message. I got you, man. Of course he mixes message. Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it's a valid question. I mean, obviously, like I have a whole studio, so that makes some sense. But like, it is a perfectly valid question because there is a huge chunk of, I'm not getting into this. He literally remote fixed my vocals in real time. There is a huge swath of people on this platform that don't but talk about it. So it's a perfectly valid question to ask if I actually do it. It's a perfectly valid question because there's a lot of people on here that talk about music that have never made a song in their life. So that's perfectly valid to ask. Like, wait, do you actually do that thing? But yes, I do. In fact, dude, I'm waiting. I'm actually I finally heard from one of the guys that got some I ordered some gear for the studio. Finally heard from the guy and I've got the new console coming in very, very soon. So hopefully he's able to ship off the console like this weekend, and hopefully by like next week or week and a half or so, I'll have a new console in here. So that's gonna be super fun. If you do that, and then the first thing that you hear is like the first thing that you hear coming out of that right there, and you could even bass drop. You know what I mean? And then splash it after that. Just let a big dark crash just kind of wash over the mix right there. You know what I mean? Like, and you have that. Come on, You got me hyped. You got me rambling in vocal notes here. I'm just treading it out there, man. It's so good. Of course, it does. I just working enough with my own stuff that I wanted to make sure. Yeah, dude, it's so valid. It's so valid, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you asking me. Yeah, feel free to reach out anytime. And I'll help in any way I can. Dude, again, this is all about intentionality. That the dynamics there at the end are killer. We can optimize them, but the dynamics at the end there are absolutely killer. Automation on the reverb right there at the end and the delays. We have like a faster, almost like, it's like a Echoplex almost like, or like an RE101 kind of style or RE201, Roland style echo at the end. You're just getting like the feedback from the tape echo and this washed out reverb right there. That energy at the end of the song right there, the automation to lift that up at the very end of that last vocal line is so butter, man. It's so smooth, so well done. Right here. Hear all that wash at the end? Valhalla go crazy facts. Is that vintage verb or is it some of the it might just be vintage verb automated up, but it almost has some of it. Not Billions and Billions is on. What's the other one? Valhalla. I can't think. The one that I had for free. The Echo. What is it called? I can pull it up right now. Frequency Echo is one that they have. Yeah, Frequency Echo, which is great. That's not the one I'm thinking of though. Supermassive. If you didn't ask me, I could. Yeah, right. Nothing popping up for some reason when I click my song. Huh. That's weird. Hold on. What's going on here? Like a hair in my headphone. Toby, thank you for the follow. Yeah, Supermassive. That kind of like Billions and Billions preset of Supermassive is awesome. I use it on synths all the time. If you do synth stuff, you need to have Supermassive. Supermassive for synth is goated. I use that on a bunch of synths, but I use it on specifically like the Poly D and like big Juno pads and stuff like that, and like on the Juno 106, and it is just life-giving. It is life-giving. Let him have it as a Torvik has a 98% satisfaction rate on Yelp. What's the 2% time, mind? What the fuck? What's the 2%, man? I appreciate it. Okay, sounds good, man. That sounds good. I appreciate you. But yeah, Valhalla, obviously the vintage verb is great. The vintage verb is fantastic. But yeah, check out some Supermassive. Supermassive is goated. Nothing is popping up when I click on my song. Let me see. Tep, you've done it before when you've skipped out of the free line, right? Okay, sounds good. Timeline. I can accept that timeline. I can accept that. Is it how? If anyone here in the line that's on TikTok right now can let me know how, if you've gone from the free line and skipped out of it, how you did that, like whether maybe like Turk or Compa, if you did that, how did it look for you? Because they're saying God's Fool Boy over on YouTube is saying nothing's popping up when they click on their song. Nothing's popping up when they click on their song. I don't have one in there to like be able to do that on my end. I can do it manually when I'm skipping people. What you can't, okay. Let me, I'm going to pop something up. Okay. Real quick. Fool Boy, where are you? Yeah, I did Apple Pay. It said under it on the free line to skip. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. Like you should just be able to go to your song. And did you do that? Did you do that on mobile, Turk? I'm assuming so. Cause you said Apple Pay. Like I'm assuming you just did it on your phone. It shows right on your song in the queue to add the skip or add to the skip. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, on my phone. That's what I thought. I wonder why it's not popping up. I wonder, Fool Boy, where are you located loosely? Obviously, you don't have to tell me exactly. Where are you located loosely? I'm wondering if it might be a regional issue or something like that. I don't really have too many issues with that, so I'm not, but I do want to get it figured out. Let me play the last 10 seconds of the song here. We can close it out. Yeah, but what's your address? What's your social security? Just so I can, help you out. Yeah, dude, this texture is crazy, man. The texture is crazy. It's beautiful, man. Seb, I love this. Sebi, you're a beast. I love what you're doing, man. You're working with some great producers and engineers. The mix on this, the automation, it's fantastic. If there was you could lock this in and send it and you'd be fine. If there's anything you want to optimize, maybe just the delayed hit right there. And you could just open this up like crazy, man. But this is beautiful. I mean, this is the kind of sound design I'm a fan of. It's interesting. It's got vibrancy to it. It's energetic. You never quite know where it's going to go, but it still feels grounded and emotional. It's not just chaos for the sake of chaos. It still feels grounded. This is stuff that I love interesting, like modular. It does feel very modular, like modular sound design. It's so good, man. I love it. I love it, man. It's so good. Experimental. Yeah. Facts. 100%. Dude, I love it. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan. Okay. I'm going to get this figured out for Full Boy really quick. I'm in Florida. I can always resubmit and pay that way. Yeah, I guess if that's the easiest thing, just do that. Yeah, that might be the easiest, just to bypass all of it and just go straight that way. I can open up another link to just send like just the Cash App or something like that, but it might be the easiest for you to just put yourself in line fresh. Just copy your text over if you said some stuff in there or something like that. That might be the easiest. I'll wait for you to do that. That way I can make sure I have the line in order of where things are. But man, y'all show some love. Sebi, do you have a loose timeline? Yeah, Florida should be fine. I was like, if you're sometimes randomly like in Germany, there's like issues with the links or something like that. So you never know. But if you're in Florida, you should be fine. I don't know what things are like in Florida these days, but you should be fine. You should be fine for the most part. For the most part. Okay. 2 months till this project is out. I'm so hyped. Dude, I can't wait, man. I'm a fan, like genuinely a fan of your music. So I'm excited for you to put this stuff out because it's of course it's fun to break it down. It's fun to like listen for the nuances and like try to see if we can correct anything. Cool. That's all fine. But genuinely just like a fan of the creative decisions that y'all make too, man. It's really fun to listen to. All right. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Compa, are you in the chat as well? Is Compa here? I know Turk's here. I see you right there, of course. Do you ever do synth designing from scratch? There's one I want to recreate, but I'm struggling. Yeah. That's like if I'm doing like session stuff, then that's a lot of time. Like it depends on the artist, it depends on the song and the genre and stuff like that. But a lot of times people are just like, hey, they see what I do on social media, or they know me from other work that I've done and stuff like that, and they're just like, hey, do your synth thing on a song, use the Juno, use whatever, and like they're just like looking for a specific thing. But every once in a while, people will be like, I'm looking for this kind of a sound, like I'm looking for like this, like kind of Juno brass, growly, low bass or something like that, and I'll build it out for them, so on and so on. But yeah. 100%. And then just like finding like what modulation profiles and like LFOs to use and stuff like that, which filters are going to work best to like figure out exactly like the tone that they're looking for, so on and so on. But yeah, I love that. I want to post a lot more about that. Like I've done some synth videos on my YouTube. I love making synth videos. They're my favorite thing in the world to make. So I want to make a lot more about that, of just like sound design, building a sound. Like here's like how to make these 5 different bass sounds, right? And so I want to do a lot more of that because it's some of my synths are my world. They're my favorite thing in the entire world. I have a decent amount of them, and I love it. Like I've said, I played keys since I was 6 years old, and have had synths like my entire life, and so that's some of my favorite work in the world to do. It's so much fun. So yeah, I would love to do more of that. Okay. Let's see. All right, let me go ahead and get into Turk then. Let's go ahead and get into Turk, and then I'll see if Full Boy is able to get in the line, but we'll keep it running. This is "Don't Walk Away" by Turk. Just an honest opinion is all they said. So any other detail? As you've heard, you've been on the live for a while. I love details. I'll get, of course, we'll give an honest opinion. That's the main structure. But talk to me about what you do, the role that you play in your music. Is this your production? Is it a YouTube beat? Is it a BeatStars lease? Are you working with someone? Is it self-engineered? Are you going to a studio? Give me some details. This is "Don't Walk Away" by Turk. It's out on Spotify. If you like what you hear, go stream it, go like it, go add it to your playlist. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, and we are officially closing. I'm going to wait for Full Boy's song to come in. It's all self-made. It's all me, self-taught, mixed, and mastered by self. Hell yeah. Let's go. I love it, man. One-man army. As soon as I see Full Boy in there, then is that blurry? Is that you, Billy? Is that you? Let me just double check, just make sure that this is blurry. Is blurry you? Beautiful. All right, let's get it. Okay, so I'm going to officially... No, you're totally good. Don't even worry about it. Let me close the line. Line is officially closed. These will be our last couple tracks, and then we'll move on from here. All right, line is officially closed. If you were in the consultation line, you can still move around. You can still skip past people. You can still add to your tier or whatever you want to do. If you want to go faster and skip people, that's still possible. But these will be our last couple songs here. All right, let's get it, man. Let's get it. This is "Don't Walk Away" by Turk. All self-done. Production and everything, right? So this is some D&B. Hey. What's up, J-Mac? Welcome in. Good to see you, man. No, it's cool. This is nice, man. Whew, yeah, get some rest, man. It's good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Nice little square lead. Balance too, man. How long have you been making music, producing yourself and stuff like that? Yeah, it's cool. It's vibey. It's super chill. Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah. 100% Jay. Sounds good, man. Take care, Jay. Vocal samples are great too. Are those off Splice? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah. No, sounds good. I was just curious. Thanks for tapping in, Bob. Appreciate it. We'll be live again. I don't know about tomorrow. Maybe Saturday. One little note I'm hearing. Sound design's great. The balance is good too. Like the space on those background vocals. Let's go. Oh, I guess that's more probably what you typically do. But man, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is, y'all, we're closed. Big red letters right here. We're closed, but we'll be live again most likely Saturday if I were to look into the future. I'll be doing a bunch of other work here in the studio tomorrow, so I probably will not have time to go live. But I will most likely be live Saturday if I can imagine what my workflow will look like the next couple days. So definitely make sure y'all are following. Make sure y'all are tapped in, subscribed on YouTube. Following on Twitch and TikTok, of course. And then hopefully we'll be live in the next couple days. But y'all, please show some love to Turk. Turk, I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. I like the sound design, man. It's just very chill. It's very easy. It's very like commercially palatable. You know what I mean? Like this is very viable. This is good for background. This is good, like study, chill, almost like, like lo-fi stuff in the background. Like you have a really good feel, I think, for creating really like mellow, easy music. I know, like you said, a lot of your other stuff is maybe a little bit more hyped, a little bit more energetic, but I really like this feel, man. It's got a really, really cool feel. There's one thing in the production I'm listening for, largely speaking, one thing in the production. There's a note between, I believe, your low pad and your sub bass. They hit two notes in the lower register that have a lot of like dissonance to it, like a lot of tension to it. It's like there's like two notes playing at the same time. Like the sub bass moves down to the D and maybe the pad goes to the E. So you're getting all of that mud, kind of all, or is it E minor? So it'd be like all of this mud at the same time. You're getting a bunch of tension. So I want to listen for that really briefly, because that's one of the only times that the production feels a little muddy, feels a little bit inflated in the low end, and it kind of runs into each other a little bit. So I would love to just kind of figure out what's happening there, and then get into it. And depending on your distribution, I'm just saying, you don't have to obviously correct this. You could always just move on to the next song because the song's already out. Depending on your distribution, you might be able to update the file too. You can like go into them, like keep the same master, keep everything where it is, go and like update the MIDI on that note and resubmit the file through the same like ISRC codes, and you'll be fine. But anyways, let's get into it, man. And then we got I believe just two more songs after this, and we're gonna get out of here. Okay, let's run it, man. Let's run it from the top. Otherwise, man, I've really liked the sound design. I like the feel. I like the aesthetic. Repetitive as far as dynamics go through the song. It is an over 5-minute song, but if you're doing like maybe sets or festivals or venues or something like that, it's more typical to have a longer set. I don't know if you are performing these or actually playing these or DJing or anything like that, but it is that's obviously going to be more typical that you're going to have, some longer sets for stuff like this. If not, maybe having some smaller changes in dynamics would be helpful if you're not performing them and they're just radio records or they're just like for playlists and stuff like that. Then you might want to have some shifts in dynamics that are a little bit more obvious, a little bit more dynamic. But again, your main sound design I think is awesome. I DJ, but I wouldn't be playing this style. It's more my other. That makes sense. So a song like this, you might want to have some more dramatic shifts that happen. Not too energetic, of course, but maybe even lower. Like maybe even sitting lower in this register for a while and having more changes that bring those dynamics a little bit farther down, more intimate. It comes all the way down to just like a Rhodes or a piano and a weird pad in the background, so on and so on, right? Just so it doesn't feel like it's 5.5 minutes of like largely the same chord, because it's only, there's, pretty much two, of, the same kind of chord back and forth and a couple other, smaller chord changes in there. It's more of my chill one in my house or drive it. 100%. Yeah, this is like your late night drive chill stuff. Okay, let's get into it. Why does it keep playing it? Stop playing that. Stop playing that. There we go. Exactly. And that's why I'm like, if we could shift it a little bit, that'd be cool. Obviously, it's already out, so I only just want to get your wheels spinning for the future. Because this is all sick. I love all this, man. We're closed, y'all. We're closed. We're going to be live again, most likely Saturday. So make sure you're following. We'll open it back up again. So I think the bass is lined up here. B, G to B, back to the G. So I think, okay, so it's like this G7, right? B minor 7, G major 7. And then I think all of the production does an E minor to the G, and then back to, hold on, I got to do my puzzle on TikTok real quick. Let me do my puzzle. I got to build a cow over here. There we go. Puzzle's complete. We're so good at those. Okay. So we have the G major, B minor, G major, E minor, D. I think what I'm hearing, I'm not positive because there's a little bit of mud. We're so low with that sub bass that there's some warble, right? Like when it's almost like LFO territory. Like it's so low that you almost have this, right? Because it's like a really, really low sub bass. It's so low that I'm not positive exactly what I'm hearing here because it's somewhat disguised by some of the other pads right there. But I think a little bit of what's happening at the bottom right there. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. What's going on here? Grid without the bass. My bass had some grittiness too, so they clash. Yeah, so there's a little bit of the texture I don't mind though. So like I like some of the energy there. I'm curious, and this might not be happening. It might just be some other thing that's clashing right there that you might just have wanted to carve some space in like mid side or in the EQ to kind of create a little bit more movement there. What it sounds like to me, and again, this might not be happening. What it sounds like to me is the sub potentially. It could be the opposite, but the sub is doing like G to B minor to G, and then it just like goes straight to the D maybe, or goes straight to the E, while the other pads and piano and stuff does the E minor to D. And I think the bass or one of those elements only goes to one. I'm gonna hear it again real quick because I know it loops through. It's G, B minor, G, yeah. I think the bass goes straight to the E, and then everything else shifts to the D, but not the bass. I'm nearly positive that I don't think the bass changes. So I think it's G, B minor, G, bass goes straight to the E, and it holds on the E while everything else then moves to the D, but the bass doesn't. So that's where those two notes are happening at the same time. They're a second, so they're right next to each other. I think that's where that tension is. Now, tension's not a negative thing, right? That can be a beautiful thing in the structure. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. Tension can be a beautiful thing in context, right? It could be a necessary thing to feeling something in a song. But in this context, I would love for the bass to follow, if it's not, follow the progression of everything else. Because 90% of the production moves E minor to D, and the bass holds on the E and doesn't follow the D. And that's where we all of a sudden randomly, every 7 counts, we get a ton of tension in the low end, and it sounds a little bit gritty. And it's not just the sound design. I think it's just what's being played. So that's something I would double check. You might be able to update the file on that just really, really simply and just like update it in distribution so it's a little bit smoother. I'm not saying this is like a life-changing change to your production structures. That's going to be the difference between 100 streams and a couple thousand streams. I'm not necessarily saying that, but it can be. Is it Jerry or Gary? Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Music is in the building. What's up, Music? Welcome into the stream. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. But that might be the difference between this production feeling settling to someone. And again, it's a very chill, very mellow, very easy production to listen to. And so I don't want any like unnecessary dissonance or unnecessary tension right there. And just see what's happening on those last two notes right there. And from what I'm hearing here, it's the E minor to D. Make sure that everything is doing that is carrying the progression. Obviously, some things aren't going to be playing that, but make sure everything that is carrying the progression is following the E minor to the D major right there. That way it sounds super smooth and super clean. I would love to hear your new song, just not today. The line is closed. We will be live again most likely Saturday. So just make sure y'all are following, make sure y'all are tapped in. And we'll open the line again hopefully in the next couple days. Okay, let's get a little deeper here. I want to get into kind of the middle here. Yeah, there's that tension again. You hear it every time it goes back down there. So now we're 2 minutes in. So what I would maybe want to hear here is that we like bring it all the way down, right? So if we're going to try to create more dynamics, if we can just bring it away from me, maybe just a pad underneath, like super chill, just like a pulsing sidechain pad. Walk away from me. Like having like just like bring it all the way down to like just like low piano and a pulsing pad and maybe some little nuggets of the sample in the background coming back in. But since we kind of come down, but the drums are all still in there. There's still some heavier bass or like some heavier percussion and stuff like that. We never quite reach another dynamic. And that's what makes it feel like it's 5 minutes of a lot of the same. I think the more you can just like polish those dynamics and go low when you go low, build it up when you build it up, but make it a little bit more dynamic as far as its range. I think that would help a lot in making a 5 minute song. There's nothing wrong with a 5 minute song as long as you have a lot of twists and turns, but it is the same progression. It is largely the same sound design and close to the same dynamics. Sounds good. I mean, I like the sounds, but that will help it feel more interesting. We bring it down here. Yeah. Like this is great. This is so good. And so I'm gonna toss again, just ideas. The song's out. Ignore half of what I'm saying, but take it to a future record. So what I would do here to make this feel like this is more its own moment is change the progression. So right now, everything is G, B minor, G, E minor, D, right? It all follows that progression all the way through the song. What I would do here is change that. So when it goes low, it feels like its own space. So we go down to the pad right here. Beautiful. You crush that. Go to the G, and maybe still do the B minor. So we're kind of there, but then maybe go A with a 4. And then maybe E minor. No release to the other chord. Small change. Slightly changing the sound design. A4. Nice little tension to it. To the E minor 7, right? Like it's just like a little bit of a change, but it just shifts the energy slightly. So when you go back to the other progression, it feels different again, right? It feels like this is a segment of the song. It feels like it lives in its own pocket, and it doesn't feel like the progression in that underline is kind of the same thing all the way through. Even just a small change in progression, in addition to a change in sound design, coming down to the pad for a moment with the sample like you did here, perfect. Small change there, I think would be great. Yeah, so it brings almost a different feel. Exactly. It's just the little change, just going to the A, the ears kind of go, ooh. It's just like a little bit of new information. You know what I mean? We're closed, y'all. We're closed. But we'll be live again, most likely Saturday. And same thing here. Like maybe keep this with a B and then still go A. Right? It could feel like really inspiring. Just like going to the A and then building up and shifting it. And then don't go back to the other progression until the beat hits again, right? Like those little changes could be cool. Like once the bass comes in, you can go back to the original progression, but when you're building up, you shift it. You're changing dynamic, you're changing progression. The song feels way less monotonous because it's awesome sound design. It's a good balance too, but like it's awesome sound design. I like every sound that I'm hearing, I like, right? There's nothing wrong with like what you're producing at all. I just want to make sure that people don't check out. And I think that's what will happen is like people will really love what they're initially listening to, even with the tension and the bass, like whatever. They'll love what they're listening to, but then after about 2 minutes of this, you kind of heard the song. You know what I mean? After about 2 minutes or 90 seconds even, you've kind of heard the song. And then there's just another 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes of extra information there. Still sounds good, but your brain will just kind of slowly check out from that progression. It'll like slowly check out from what's happening there, hearing the same sample and progression, right? So that's where I want these little twists and turns. I want a change in progression, a little bit more dynamic range, maybe just a little bit of a wrench in the system every once in a while to just keep people engaged, keep the ears perked up, so that they stay, involved and engaged with what is a really cool production and a really, really nice sound design. All right, let's get into this last little section here. Enjoying it too much when I was making it, didn't even 1 to 10. I mean, that's valid, dude. That's so valid. I mean, there's literally nothing wrong with that. And so I think what would be cool is make sure everyone gets that feeling, and then they have to hear the song again to get that. You know what I mean? Like that's the balancing act, right? That's the balancing act of like, yeah, dude, you can make this an 8-minute loop if you wanted to. And there's nothing really wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with just making a 9-minute loop and throwing it out there and just seeing what happens with the algorithm, right? I mean, odds are it's gonna be harder to pick up with that. But also another version of this would be like, you could make this 4 minutes instead of 5.5 minutes, or what is it? 446, right? You could make this, you can make this 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes and 45 seconds versus 4 minutes and 45 seconds. And people love it so much. They get so much that feels emotional. It feels really engaging to listen to. They just want to hear it on repeat. They want to go back. That's so good. They want to keep going through the song. That's how you get the loop. That's how you keep listening to it, is you just hear the song over and over and over again. And I think that would be better for so many of the things that you're trying to accomplish than it just being the same progression, right? Like I think what you want to do is find that bridge between I want to listen to the song again, or I've heard too much of the same in one song that I'm just satisfied hearing it once. I don't necessarily want to go hear it again. And that's I want to bridge that gap a little bit. I think if you can, dude, you'll be on fire, man, because you're obviously a great producer. Obviously, you understand structure, you understand progression, sound design choices are great. I love so much of what you're doing, man. Of course, man. Good automation, good filtering. Yeah, man, dude. You know what you're doing, man. Y'all show some love to Turk. Show some love to Turk. Love and appreciate what you do, man. Genuinely a great producer, man. I'm really enjoying the music. I'm really enjoying just the vibe of it, the feel of it. I would, personal preference here, just as far as like you building your brand as a producer and getting more people to engage with your Spotify and engage with what you're doing. I would update your cover. I'd update your profile picture up there. I would update your banner on there. Make sure your bio is filled out well with information. Use the @ symbol to tag other artists and producers and stuff that you love, that you listen to, because that'll create some SEO on your Spotify as well. On Spotify, you get 1,500 characters of SEO in order to optimize sending people to you and tie it to other artists and stuff like that. So get that set up, get that moving for you. Start to like take that, not that you aren't, but start to take that part of it a little bit more seriously too. And I think the more you take yourself seriously in what you're doing and really lean into what you're doing, the more other people will as well. They'll go be like, yeah, this is someone who's trying to do this, is really trying to make something happen here. And so I would lean into it, man, because you're talented. I really like what you're doing. Y'all show some love to Turk. Show some love to Turk, man. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Last two tracks. We got is Compa Chris in here? I don't think they were here earlier. 100%. Dude, you just got to do it once every once in a while, right? Like do it, update it once every 6 months. Once every 6 months or whatever. And oh, there's Compa. Okay, perfect. Like update it once every 6 months. Go to a blank brick wall and get a decent headshot picture of you that looks like, these phones are fine now. You know what I mean? Like portrait mode and a little bit of editing on like Canva, dude, and you'll have something decent. You know what I mean? Like get something that's like, no, this is like a DJ. This is someone who's doing what they're doing. If you're ever doing DJ and you're doing other stuff, get some decent pictures of it with the crowd. Put that, because you can swipe through like a couple different pictures on Spotify as well. Create a swipe through of you doing stuff like it'll just people like, oh yeah, here's a person who really does this. They're more likely, as we all know, people are more likely to engage with stuff that is already moving, right? So when you come across content, I know we're all like this. You come across content that has 2 likes and like 0 comments and 0 saves, it doesn't even like matter what it is, you just swipe past because like nothing's happening here. You know what I mean? Like very very rarely do you like stay, because like obviously no one's engaged with this yet. Like I don't even care what's going on here. People like to attach to things that already are moving, right? So sometimes you have to kind of do that for yourself. So if people find you, and maybe on social media there's little content, there's not as much going on there, they somehow find your Spotify, there's 6 monthly listeners, there's kind of a random profile picture, there's no banner, the bio's not filled out, like there's no follower list on there, there's no link to Instagrams for them to go, there's also no content there. All of those through lines there, it's just much less likely that people will, even if they do find you, that they'll engage, that they'll follow, that they'll stream, because they don't want to get in a parked car. They want to get into something that feels like it's going somewhere. So if people find you and here's like a pretty professional profile picture, there's like a cool graphic for your banner, there's shots of you DJing at parties and venues and stuff like that in your pictures, you got 1,000 characters of SEO filled out of like your background, where you're at, where your next shows are, like all this cool stuff that you're doing, all these other artists that you love, your inspirations, how long you've been doing it, what your goals are, you fill all this out, and then the people feel like they're encountering something that's got some movement to it, right? Like they're like, oh, this is someone I can encounter more of their stuff. So anyways, random side tangent there, but it does make a difference. It does make a difference. And we all do that with other artists, whether we're aware of it or not either. When you like go to like a profile list like page or something like that, we're like, I don't know what's going on here, and we move on. When you go to something that feels a little bit more established, you're much more likely to lock in. I want people to do that for you, man. Sending love from Ireland. Thank you so much, Turk. I appreciate you a lot. We got Compa Chris in the building, not mixed fully or mastered yet. It's my first time doing this style and doing a song 100% in English. Is it good? Let's get it. This is The Problem by Compa Chris. Let's go. And then Chris, let me know what all you did in this song. Talk to me about like the role that you played in your music. Hold on, I got to refresh. It's loading. All love, man. Appreciate you, Turk. We're closed. We're closed. We'll be live again probably Saturday. It's time.
I bet you're mad. I bet you're sad. Your life turned to a mess.
Okay, cool.
You enjoying endless.
Some like 80s synth pop stuff.
I bet your thoughts are nothing but regret.
It's about your music, Toby.
Didn't I tell you this would happen if you happen to?
It's just people keep sending like Ed Sheeran. It's like, no, this is about your music.
You lost your mind, your body.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you.
And everything that can is going wrong. Oh, it's going wrong. Sad to know you dug out your own grave, yeah. Maybe you're the problem. God is caught your teeth and looking dry. And I can hear your spirit start to cry. Nothing changes even though you try, yeah. You there with me? You tried with
got that like TR-707 feel.
You switched your roles, your problems turned out worse. But magically you say that you're the only one who came out of this hurt. And now you're back. I look at you, your eyes are full of lies. And I can hear your spirit start to cry. But this time I don't feel like I'm obliged. Look in the mirror and do a double take. Your life is full of nothing but mistakes. It's sad to know you dug out your own grave, yeah. Maybe you're the problem. God is caught your teeth.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Y'all, show some love. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. Show some love to Compa Chris right here in the chat. I'm gonna try to move at a good pace through these last two here. I'm gonna open up something here really quick. So I opened up a Juno because we got some 80s style stuff here. To the G major, it's the F sharp minor close, and then back to the B minor. So let me open up something here. Okay, I'm just gonna get a little more resonance on there. Okay, let's exactly. I mean, this is a Juno 106. I don't have my Juno plugged in right now, so I'm using the plugin right now, so I can pull this up quick. I want to dive into a couple things here because you have some really good structure, and I want to fine tune some consistencies in your melody as well as fill in one more layer on the hook. So I do want to get into that. So I'm gonna bring this down. Hold on, let me actually switch to a different plugin right now. Let me switch to a different real quick. We're not gonna spend too much time on this, but I do want to go to the original presets for the. There she is. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Beautiful. That's what we're talking about. Okay, let's get it. Let's run it from the top. Let's get into the details here. Last couple songs here. A lot of the sound design I love. Again, it's got a very 80s synth pop record. We got like Roland TR-707 drums, gated reverbs, rototoms. We got a lot of like the classic, Juno pads in the background and stuff like that. A lot of the classic sound design that I'm a big fan of. I think you've nailed a lot of that in the producer that you're working with. On the mix side, just really briefly, there's some parts of the production that are a little bit shrill, a little bit brittle, maybe just a little bit over brightened. So you could potentially address just a little bit of that on the production mix side. Some of the percussion is a little bit maybe over brightened, so you don't want it to sound too harsh or too brittle. So small changes in that I think could be helpful. But mainly I want to talk about just the vocal structure and adding one element to the hook. So let's get into it. So let's listen for melody, repetition, and then production on the hook.
I bet you're mad. I bet you're sad. Your life turned to a mess. You go out more, you enjoy it less and less. I bet your thoughts are nothing but regret.
Much more consistent.
Tell you this would happen if you happen to decide and think for both. You lost your mind, your body, and your soul, and everything that can is going wrong.
So the thing that I'm listening for, we'll listen for it a little bit more on the second verse, is how many different times the melody is changing going into these different moments. Put less voice echo. Hey, no worries. I know we're about to close up on the last thing. I'll probably be live again Saturday. For those of y'all who are wanting to tap in, wanting to submit, we'll be most likely live again on Saturday. Is how many different times we are changing melody. Again, if a lot of what we want, especially this is a pop record, right? So as far as like wanting to make this catchy and have a pattern and be repetitive, I want to make sure that we have really consistent melodies through these different layers right here. Mixing at that serious barrel is just volume control. Mr. 22, what are you talking about? Nobody said anything about mixing your volume control. What are you talking about?
Always going wrong.
Or are you just quoting Russ and copying it here? Okay, so then here, so let's get into. They might just be. Russ just said something about that. Russ just yeah. I was replying to someone. Wait, about putting less voice echo. I mean, that doesn't seem like a serious thing, anyways. They might, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Either way, when it comes to filling in the rest of the mix here on the production, right? Like filling out more of the production here, we have a lot of good, like low. Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a direct quote from direct. What am I saying? Direct quote from Russ. Now everyone's gonna be quoting that now to like justify their wanting to get better at mixing. So that'll be fun to deal with when I'm messing around with people in the music. Anyways, when it comes to this production right here, so what we get is that we have good like low sub bass and a low like synth bass that's happening here, and a lot of bright high end. It's snappy at the top. It's super open. Right, we have all of this openness out there. Beautiful. That's awesome. In the middle of the mix, though, we're missing a little bit of life. Now there might actually be some synths that are in there that you can inflate the mids. You can open it up a little bit more, and maybe that'll help warm it up a little bit. I think it would be nice to have like this is a Juno 106 that I'm playing here. That gives you a little bit more warmth in the middle. Having a little bit more of that push in the middle of the mix would be really nice. So once we get into this hook here.
Your soul, and everything that can is going wrong.
And just follow the same progression. Without it, that little bit of push in the mids helps. Filling in that middle of the mix, it just warms things up. Right now, it's heavy low, it's really bright and shimmery at the top end, creating just a little bit of warmth in the middle of the mix just makes it feel a lot more inviting to listen to. So if there's already some elements of that, some Juno pads in the middle there, if there's already some elements of the mix that is already kind of in that position, then we can maybe push some of those forward, maybe refilter them, maybe, have them a little bit more dynamic in the mix, or we can maybe add an element, like in this case, just like some plucky Juno 6 chords like I have here to fill in the middle of the mix there and warm it up a bit, just so it doesn't get too like bright and brittle and low and heavy and feel like it has a little bit more movement. There's a chance I uploaded the wrong file. If that's the case, I can try again. Yeah, I got you. Either way, a full boy, I can end it here. Or if you do want to wait, I'll boost you farther. Full boy. So if you have 10 in there right now, if you end up wanting to just hold it and make sure you get that, like just start fresh the next time, then I'll have you submit for free and I'll boost you farther. So I'll actually boost you at least another 5. So if you want to hold it for the next stream just to make sure you have the right file and everything in line, let me know. And I'll bump you up next time. So you sent in 10, I'll bump you up to 15. You'll just submit free again, and then with whatever file you need, and that gives you 2 chances to make sure it's the right file too. And I can bump you up an extra 5. Every time I save one of y'all's songs, I always bump you up a little bit farther next time, so you have a chance to get heard, hopefully a little bit sooner. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper here. But yeah, those are the 2 things. Those are the 2 things I want you to focus on. Obviously, you have a good song structure here. You obviously can sing. You have some good dynamic range here. You're a pretty good writer, so like I like a lot of the song structure here. But I would love to warm up the middle of it and just like kind of inflate this a little bit, so there's a little bit warmer. It's a little bit more saturated. It doesn't feel too pristine and bright and sterile, but it has some more energy to it, as well as maybe better consistency for the vocal structure and the verses.
Nothing changes. You tried with him, you also
I got you. Yeah.
tried with her.
Just let me know if you come in Saturday or whenever. It could be the next couple of days or a week from now. It doesn't matter to me. Just let me know that you're here. Remind me what you submitted, and I'll boost you up. I got you. No question at all. That happened with a couple people today already.
You switched your role, you there with me.
Okay, so listen to this melody.
Tried with him, you also tried with her. You switched your roles, your problems turned out worse.
Different melody.
But But magically you say that you're the only one who came out
Different melody again.
And now you're back.
Different melody again. All good melodies.
Your eyes are full of lies.
Different melody again.
And I can hear spirits.
Different melody again.
Cry.
Every measure is a different melody. They're all good melodies and you have a good voice, so it all works. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, these are all good melodies. You're doing good stuff and it sounds good sonically. Sonically, you're doing stuff that I think people will enjoy and then sounds good. But what's going to happen is it'll sound good, but it'll be unmemorable. People won't remember it because there's so many, like this is one verse with 8 different melodies. And because of that, there's not the pattern recognition. There's not that catchiness. There's not the repetition of those melodies where people are going to remember it. You get some of it on the hook, a little bit on the first verse, but there's a lot of changes there too, and largely no repetition on the second verse here. So I would definitely encourage you to, when it comes to like building your verse structure, have core melodies that you repeat, core melodies that are really locked in, that are really tied together, and then you can occasionally branch away from them and have some changes to your ending lines, some ad libs and layers that help shift away from that. But the core melodies that you're writing are much more consistent because I want people to remember. I want them to hear it and not just like it, but it to be stuck in their head later. I want it to be gluey. I want it to be sticky. So really focus on your melody structure, not just your lyrics. The lyrics themselves are fine. What's up, Carlos? And good night to you as well. Appreciate you tapping in. If you can focus on that, it's going to be a night and day. Just because I want people to hear it, I also want them to remember it. Because what you're playing sounds good, but I want to make sure that people can actually grab onto it. Let me hear the outro here. It's cool production though. The 80s is my favorite era. I love 80s music. So I love hearing a lot of the sound design, the classic like Roland, drum machines, the Juno pads, the 80s polysynths and stuff like that. I love all that stuff. So I think a lot of this production and your vocal effects and stuff are pretty locked in. They're pretty well done. But I want to polish some of the melody and some of the structure to make sure it all fits really, really well.
Nothing changes even though you try.
It's a good melody there. Hey, good to see you, Greg. Good to see you, man. Of course, man. Of course. There are some nice... So you'll hear really quick, last thing I'll say. So you'll hear, there's these beautiful synths at the end right here. That is kind of what I have here. But if I open up this filter, how bright that is, that's kind of what you're hearing here. It's a little bit more open. So like, let me bring this down a little bit. Right, you can kind of hear that at the end of the song here. Hear that in the background? You get a little bit of that, but you hear how bright it is? So what I would do is like have a little bit more. All I do is like drop this filter down. Hear how that punches into the middle a little bit more? So it can be good to have both. It can be good to have the, right? It can be good to have all of that right there. It could also be really nice to just have these like mid-4. Those plucks in there, I'm gonna open up this decay a little bit longer so it lasts a bit longer. See how that fills out the middle? You can bring in a sub a little bit more noise. It's super warm, right? Right in the middle of the, that is a different experience than, right? Those really open filters. So what could be helpful is to keep the synth that you have there. It's really nice. I'm a fan of that. It's a great sound. It's made largely with a similar synth, if not the same one. So you can keep that sound in there and then have another layer on that hook that punches through the mid right there. That's just, that is just classic 80s plucky, piano in the middle of the mix. know what I mean? That's the 80s right there, right? So having some of that sound design will help push that mid and make this feel a little bit easier to listen to, not just bright and sub. But y'all show some love, man. And then Sir Billy, I got you. I'm going to save you, man. I'm going to hang on to yours. And then next time you come in, I think it's going to be Saturday, most likely. I think it's going to be Saturday that I go live. So tap in then, or whenever you have the ability to, man. I'm live, almost every day during the week, pretty much every day during the week, sometimes during the weekend. So I'm here all the time. So let me know whenever you come back in. I'll boost you to at least 15 the next time and give you a little bit more of a heads up as far as going a little bit faster the next time as well. But man, Compa Chris, I like what you're doing, man. I like the style. I like the aesthetic. You've got a good voice. And most of like the processing and the mix, I'm not super mad at either, man. It's pretty well done. It's pretty well balanced. I'm really not too upset at all, man. Did I just hear the weekend? Close enough, largely. But that's Compa Chris right here in the chat, y'all. That's going to do it for today. We're going to close it up. I'm going to rest my ears. I'm going to get out of here. I got a lot of work tomorrow. So I'm going to take a rest tonight after a nearly 4-hour live after a day full of work. So I'm excited to listen to some of y'all's music hopefully this weekend. I love and appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have an amazing rest of your evening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok, wherever it makes sense, so you can stay in touch with what we're doing. I appreciate y'all so much. Mark Quavius, good to see you, man. Sorry, I didn't even see you in the chat, man. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that a lot, man. Thank you for the love. But we'll be back in just a couple days. I got a bunch of stuff I gotta finish setting up here. So love and appreciate y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your evening, and we'll see y'all soon. Peace.